Hey you better stop your scrolling. Come on in and make this carrot with us. Let's go. Hey Bloomerinos, it's Kali with Kali's.com. And we're ready to make a cute Easter carrot. We've made these carrots all different kinds of ways, and I came up with an even cuter design today for us to play with. These carrots have this great frame where it's metal and it'll help support your whole design. And look how fun this is. You can take and add all kind of depths and dimension by taking and rotating the petals up here on the top of the grass on the carrot. Get them some dimension and get that rocking. I'm always a big fan of that. So for this project, we're using a couple of filler grass here with a little yellow berry, some carrots, some little, this is mini leaf bush we're going to put on. We're going to get a little block of phloem, and we have this one already cut. It's going to be going right up here at the top. You'll need a few floral pins and, of course, some ribbons to complement your project. We'll have the supply list for you. Just ask in the comments. If you are on our text list, go to textkali.com if you're not already. We'll be texting out not only that this new videos is online for you, but also that the supply list is available. I just took this block of glue and I put it in my glue pot. And if you haven't seen how to use a glue pot before, just come check us out on all our videos. I use them all the time. Now that's kind of going into the metal base there and the grapevine. I'm going to take some of these U pins. These are these little metal pins here. They are shaped like a U. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but we're going to use those in here to hold everything together. So I'm going to kind of come from the back, and we're going to grab the actual frame here as we push these pins in. So that way it gives it a more stable base. I do this a lot with my designs. I am a big fan of foam. You can get the foam at any craft store. That's the one thing we don't sell at Kali's.com, but they have it available at a lot of craft stores, and even some dollar stores have the blocks of foam. And you're going to cut it to this smaller little piece here. You can't go real little, but cut it small enough to where it can, it's a lot less to hide if you keep it small, but it's got to have its strength here. So if it gets too little, it gets weak. Okay, it's all wired in, and that's good to go. It's really easy to build our design off of this. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to start with some of these killer bushes here that are so beautiful. They have this great greenery and a neat twig on it. So what I want to do is just take and tear these. Hand wrap bushes that we sell on our website are super easy to work with because all you do is tear them. Literally, watch that. You don't even need a knife. It does make a little mess, but that keeps you from cutting as much. It makes it that simple for you. Now you're going to need some wire cutters, and we're going to take and trim these down each to just a couple of inches. And I'll throw those in the trash. We just need little short stems here. I'm going to cut those off. Fantastic. Now let's start to get our placement going, rocking and rolling with these. Let me bring my electric skillet up here so it'll be easier when we start to put the pieces in our design. I'll bring it up. I was going to wait on that, but we need it closer. Oh, my cord is stuck, guys. Come on, cord up. We need it right here, right close by. Yes, that'll just make it easier. All right. I'm going to get those little papers off there. So I'm going to use these. My hanger on this is right here at the center. So this carrot is going to pretty much hang whatever direction I put the weight on. So I'm going to kind of have this going left to right on him right here. So we're going to have this piece going in this way. And I'll just spread that out. Let me scoot you over, dude. And we're just going to keep kind of going one on top, one on bottom, and we'll work opposite. So I'm going to swirl that around in my glue pot, and we'll go down. Hold your foam while you're placing these in because you don't want it to just pop off on you. I'm going to go up and down. These are so cute. Always a great seller in my Etsy store, and also in our store we rent space in. These kind of cute pieces, they're not available at the craft stores. People can't just go buy wreaths like this. They have to get them from a creative like you and a maker like you. So make sure you're making things like this that we know our customers are going to love. All right, we've got a few pieces started. Now there's going to be a beautiful bow here with tails in a little bit, but I want to get my carrots in next. And these carrots are going to go just kind of all shooting out of the top. I love the texture on these. I've used these once before on another video, and I'm in love with them. They've got kind of like fuzzy pant material with a cute little stripe. Adorable. It's just so adorable. So I'm going to take these, just kind of have them pop off the top here. I think I'll have 2 go high and 1 go low. So I tell you what, we're going to hold off on the low one until we get the bow in, so I can have it positioned perfect so it shows up coming out of the bow. Now it's time for some of our grass bushes. This is the mini leaf bush. And I'm going to take this and push these up and spread these out. You guys, if you don't already follow us here, make sure to follow and like our page. Also subscribe so you can get more notifications anytime we put out a new video. You can also go to textkali.com and sign up for our text list. So it's Kali, not plural, textkali.com, and it will... You'll put your number in, text us the word coupon, and it'll send you a coupon for your first purchase. I'm going to take and put these on either side here. We're going to start to fill out our design. Isn't that gorgeous? And one of the things I'm always teaching my design school students is you want depth and dimension. So you can see I'm starting to lift that up. These are all wired, so you can look beautiful, like you're cheating in your design, because you don't have to let nature do it. You can use the wire inside to take these and make them kind of come up. C-shaping that. Let's put this one on this side. Great, great, great. And let's have one go up the middle. I'm going to leave this one kind of shooting straight, and we'll pop that behind where we had the yellow. So we got a beautiful base. Remember, there's going to be a bow, so we're going to leave a hole in the middle for a moment. I'm going to shoot one more greenery kind of coming out the bottom underneath this fun yellow. I love that. That's looking great. So we got a great start here. Now let's put this aside for a second. Let's tie our bow, and then we're going to put all the magical pieces together. Now I want you to notice all the depth. There's a ton of depth. So as we build this up, we're going to keep adding layers of the florals underneath. So I'm going to pull this to the side, and we're going to grab our easy bow maker and tie our bow for this design. It's going to be a simple bow using a couple of oranges. I'm all in on the carrots this season. I'm doing a big display at our booth at the shop in carrots. So I'm making all kinds of carrots to take there. So we're starting off with a 20-inch tail. Come to the center and twist. Now these loops are going to be out at 6 inches. So 6 inches and twist. I'm going to come over to the other side. 6 inches and twist. And we're going to do 2 loops, okay? On each side, both at 6 inches. All right, here's our next loop at 6. Come to the center, twist. One more here on the right. 6 inches, scrunch that down. I'm fluffing these both out here. That's so perfect. Now I'm going to bring my tails here to the middle, and we're going to trim these at an angle. All right, fantastic. Now I'm going to come in with my next ribbon, which is this cute little stripe. We're going to pop that in here, and now my tails will be 2 inches shorter. So these will sit at about 18 inches. I'll cut it trim. If you want it a little shorter, I like the combo of 16-14, but we're working at 20-18 on the links of these tails. This loop's at 5.5, so you're always decreasing your loop length to bring the eye into the center of that bow. And you guys know on Wednesdays we are live at 7 o'clock Central Time on Facebook and YouTube, and also on TikTok, making bows. Now grab a cable tie. I'm going to run that right down the center here. Put a finger in the center and add some pressure. And we'll get that tight, but not too tight. Okay, just like this. Hold pressure with your fingers and rotate this back between them. Now you need to fluff this up before you finish tightening the whole bow up. I'm a big fan of this carrot ribbon and this stripe. They're 2 nice ribbons to work with. The tails need to be going down. And before we get this real tight, we're going to add a cable tie to the center. Oh, no, we're not going to add a cable tie. We're going to add a U-pin that we used earlier to secure our foam on. We're going to add that right to the center. Now I'm just going to rotate that around. Now we're going to take these and trim them off. Just like that. And then I'm going to pick a ribbon to go down the center, and I'll just put the stripe down the middle. You'll cut like a 12-inch piece of this. just right there, and I will run that right down the middle of this bow. And that'll clean up the cable tie in the middle and really finish it out really pretty. Just like it just is a nice little touch. Makes my heart so happy every time I do one of those. Isn't that cute? All right, this is going to be our pop of orange at the front of our design. Love, love, love that. Just get a nice little knot back here. Trim these tails off. And there's our U-pin ready to go. Now bring your carrot back because we're going to put this whole project together now. Here comes our carrot. Look at her in all her glory. She's waiting for her bow. Bring on her bow, yeah. All right, we're going to put that bow right in the center by hitting this with some glue. She is happy to see us. Yes, you are, ma'am. And the nice thing about that foam is it adds another layer of dimension. Now, immediately take these tails and run them through the back. The big carrots come behind the greenery. Just push them down. We want them to come through the back and trail down along your carrot. Oh my gosh, isn't that cute? And these orange tails, we're going to curl them and let them just kind of come to the front of the party up here. I like to just kind of pull that out. Yes, yes, curly curls. Super cute, guys. Okay, I'm going to pull this one out too. You don't have to do this, but I think that's fun like that. Awesome. Now my next move is I'm going to put that carrot coming out the bottom we talked about earlier. I got her over to the side. I'm going to run her just kind of coming straight out the bottom. Right here, because she looks so cute. And you know what? Our little bunny Fufu who started the video off for us, we've got her. She comes with a little blue bow right here, or a different color bow. And I just pulled that out. So we took her bow off so she could go perfectly with our combination here. And we're going to cut her little stem off and pop her in. She's been popping into all my TikTok videos this week. So she's making an appearance everywhere we go. So take and dip this in the glue pot. Her little head's going to come out the top of the bow. And of course, oh my goodness! Oh my goodness, she's so cute. Push that all the way into the foam so we can kind of tuck her into the bow. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. So cute. Now, we're going to take our other yellow bush and we're going to bring some of the yellow to the foreground a little bit more. Isn't this precious? So don't be afraid to use something right in your bow. If you're not a fan of the little bunny head, why don't you take one of the carrots and put it right in the center? I could have put that carrot at the bottom right in the center. Sure coulda. Sure coulda. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come in and have a little bit of yellow kind of coming to the foreground just a little bit, and a little bit of grass on that other side. This bush, I'm able to pull it a little and make it a little bit shorter and thicker. So don't be afraid to do that. That's called a pusher, is what we'll call a bush like that. That it lets it slide up a little. And I'm going to put that right here in the middle. Kind of have that shooting out of the bow and kind of adding a little layer over that carrot. Now let's get a little more yellow up here at the top. And just work these around each side. And on your project, you'll just keep filling it into your desired likeness of how much fullness you want. I love it full, and I like all my pieces lush. I mean, I want people to see them and expect to pay more because they are fancier than anything that they've seen, different than they've seen. And I just thought, so simple, so cute. You could knock these out for your craft shows in a heartbeat. Coming up in a couple of months, you guys will have craft shows this spring. And these are great to put in the shops where you sell your items. All right, let's push these where they're both a little bit pushed up too. And we'll use these in and around the bow also. But take a look at your design and see where you might need a little more yellow. I think I want a little bit more on that side. So I'm going to pop this in. These are so nicely wired. We can have these coming up or coming down and really kind of fill out the top of our carrot. Just kind of making her own little, like her own little fancy dress she's wearing it here. You come on this side. So cute, guys. I love that. And make sure you're using the wires to your advantage, however you want to move them. I'm going to come one more yellow, just coming right out the center, up the middle. And utilize that block of foam. Oh, perfect. And I've got 2 more pops of green we can add in here. So just take a look. Oh, everything's kind of looking good. Kind of filled in nicely. So I'm going to bring this green to the front. And get my little triangle pattern working around her head. Hold on to her when you're pushing stuff in. We want to keep it all stable. Oh my goodness, y'all. Ay caramba. She is beautiful and I love her. I can't wait to show you guys what we're going to work with tonight. It's going to be fun. All right, y'all, here is our bunny. Look how cute this bunny is. And we're going to be using him on a wreath today. I'm going to bring this camera down a little bit. This one's a little high. I got to move one around. So welcome. If you have never been here, welcome. It's Khalid here. Good to see you. I'm sure you're used to seeing my videos and all the things, but tonight we're going to be creating live together. So I'm hoping you can see the project pretty good. The Facebook feed is a little close up. I'm trying to get y'all down a little bit. It's cracking me up. So hello, good to see you, Jordan. Good to see you. I'm playing with all the themes, getting all the feeds going. All right, I think that one might be a little bit better. There you go. So hopefully you can see wherever you're watching. I'm going to try to get this one over a little bit. Turn it. All right. I'm doing good, Jordan. How is Valentine's going? My friend Jordan has been selling a whole bunch of Valentine goodies in his part of Texas, so it's kind of exciting. Hopefully it's going great. We're working on Easter tonight here, so I'm going to have a lot of fun doing that with you. So welcome if we've never met before. We're so glad you're here. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe wherever you're watching. And today we're going to work with this cute little bunny base. And the video, I'm going to teach you guys in the style I do in design school. And hopefully that helps you kind of get an insight to what happens in class. And our class is only open up a couple of times a year for new students. And that time is coming up. So I want you to see exactly how we do everything in there. So I'm going to kind of get started. Now, our wreath we're going to use today is we're texting out too. If you want to get on the text list, you're going to go to textkhalid.com to grab a spot, and we're going to text you guys out that you can watch us live. Wherever you like, I'm live everywhere right now, so wherever you want to watch should be good. This is kind of a larger 18-inch wreath base, and I picked that one out because I want to use this really kind of a large size bunny. And I think we're going to kind of tuck her into the side over here, and that way I can take and leave a lot of room for a bow and all the fun florals. We're going to have so much fun. So I'm going to put her in first. I got to find my awl. I poked her. Oh, here she is. And we'll get this started. So come on in. If you're just getting here, tell us hello, where you're watching from. I'd love to know that. I'm going to poke some holes in the back to help get this placed in. And get a cable tie to put it in. But we are doing all the things in design school. We've been heavy duty on Easter for quite a while already. And it's fun when you get right into the heart of the season creating. I love that. So what I'm trying to do is get that to come right through the back. And sometimes with a cable tie it wiggles around. Yeah, got it through. There it is, went right through. So I'm going to take and attach that like right over here. And we're going to put it on the side. So pardon my back for a second. I'm going to try to put it in right in this area. Let's go in here. And we'll just tuck it in, I think, a little bit. I want to make sure it's not going to be too far over. But I like things with a lot of dimension and movement and all that stuff. I love to teach that. So we'll get our first spot in to hold this big old bunny on here. Get in there, baby. And now I'm just going to bring her little tail over, and then we'll tuck this down a little bit. So by having like 2 attachment points, you can control the angle you want it to be at. Just do one at a time too. Hello from Tennessee. I love it. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. Thanks for being here. All right, I'm going to punch this one in too. A little bit smaller. Well, thanks for being here, guys. I usually, most of my videos are done record it and come out for you guys to see on replay. But tonight I'm live with you, hanging out. So if you have questions, feel free to ask. I may not be able to see them all while we're live, but we'll get back to you if we can. I'm gonna have to flip it over, y'all, because I can't get it to go in as easy as I want it to. There it comes. The good thing is use those brown cable ties. You can see them coming. The bunny is getting attacked. He just wanted a little piercing, a little minor piercing. He wants tattooed. Look, he's already got all these great tattoos on the front. This bunny's feeling cute. The reason I like this one is because it's literally got all the colors. We got a great 4-inch ribbon we're going to use with it tonight, but it's literally got all the colors that go with so many of the different Easter ribbons. So it's like a no-brainer. Okay, he's kind of leaning a little to the right, but what we're going to do is I'm going to get a hanger on here, and we'll get him straightened up. We'll get him the way I want him. So we're going to rotate him over just a little bit. See, and then I've got like a natural little zone here for the bow. We'll be able to put that in. So I'm going to flip this around and get our hanger in. So I kind of have a place where he won't wobble too much. So I make my little U and just flip that up, and now we put our hanger on. Hello there, Dottie. Thank you. Hi, Jane. Good to see you. Hi, Joyce. Hello, everybody, wherever you're watching from. Christy's here and Brenda. Thank you guys for being here. Okay. All right. Okay, perfect. Now, before I even get too crazy with a bunch of floral, I'm going to go up a little higher so all the cameras can see. Well, eventually it'll balance out in a minute. I want to go ahead and get our bow going here. Here is our bow, and I'm going to use the ribbon, this 4-inch ribbon. So it's nice and full. So I'm going to take and make the bow for you guys right here together. I think I want pretty long tails. Now in design school, when I'm doing bows, I'll have the bows on their own separate video, and we put that in the portal for you. And the reason we do that is so I like to think of our classes and our videos kind of like you can resource different things for different projects. And I love that because then you can see a bow you like in one project, and then you can totally come back and utilize that bow design for another project. So you can kind of cut and paste your designs. So I always do the bow videos separate than the whole tutorial. So that way you can use bows in different, you can cut and paste what you want for your designs. I love that. All right, I'm going to do a couple of loops. So far I've got 2 on one side, 1 on the other. And I'm twisting. Might as well just throw this ribbon on the ground. It's not gonna behave. Yeah, this particular design is not a kit, but we do have a supply list for it. So if it's something you want to grab the supply list for, just ask in the comments. And I will get back to you. Reply. Okay, let me get a cable tie and we'll come right in the middle. So I got it pretty simple. It's 4-inch ribbon, so it's nice and juicy. So I'm just stacking the 2 on top of each other. 1 big loop, 1 small loop. Let's bring that in. Are you all having a great Valentine's Day? Of course you are if you're hanging out with me. You are. You're gonna have a great day if you're hanging out with me. Hopefully your special loved ones are giving you some type of treat. Treating you special. If not today, sometime this week. Alright, I'm fluffing these. I'm just trying to make sure they kind of match. So we just went simple with it's big, thick, beautiful ribbon, so we don't have to go too much to make a really nice impact. Let me grab my scissors and we will trim it down. Good to see you guys. Thank you. I'm so glad you like it. Oh, you're having steaks? I love it. I love it. Steaks are on the menu. That's awesome, Trisha. So this ribbon, okay, if you guys aren't familiar with us, we have an entire website where we sell every supply you see us use. And we sell the components, we sell the ribbon, all of that. So it's Kalees.com. That's the name of our page here on TikTok. You can Google Kalees, K-E-L-E-A-S, or you can use any of the links here to take you directly. If they're clickable, it just depends where you're watching. We're streaming all over right now. So, hi Triple D, hi Heather. Good to see you guys. And Rebecca's over here. Nice. I can't see everybody in the groups or on YouTube, but welcome. So glad you're here. Okay, so I just got a really pretty thick bow, really simple. In design school, I teach specifically about lines, movement, transitions, all that kind of stuff, so you can become a really great designer. And you don't learn just how to do one project, but you learn how to use those principles for every design you do over and over. So one of the things we do is we pick a transition point, and that's kind of where the eye's going to shift and how we create lines. So it just depends on what you want to do, but on something like this, kind of great to have a bow down low right here, or you can go up high. I think we're just safe going right here with really, really pretty tails. First time watching? Oh, thank you so much, Denise. So glad you're here. So let's bring this one in and go low. The only thing I want to do is I want to kind of cover the center of this bow, and I think I'm just going to use some solid pink in there. I'm going to use just a little bit of this. This isn't on the supply list, but this is just a solid pink. Okay? If you want to add it, Nicole, we could. It's just in case anybody wants it. It's item number 983-109-28. 983-109-28. So that's our item number on the website, guys. But we'll have it all on the supply list, so you don't have to find anything, okay? Isn't it pretty? I love this really bright pink. It looks really pretty in here too. So I'm just going to put down in the middle. It's a little bit different pink, but it's not going to matter because it's going to look cute in there. Thank you, Nicole. Our website is Kalees.com. So if you're new, Keleas.com. So when you are on, you go on Google, you put in Kalees.com. You're going to come to our website, and if you've never been there before, you're going to see some really easy buttons to help you kind of get familiar with our site. And when you're ready to join design school, we have all the things to take your creating to the next level. I've been working years to get all this stuff done, guys. But when you first come there, you're just a new follower. You're like, Clea, I need to know more about you. If you will go to supply lists at the top, it'll take you into a bunch of our latest projects we've done. If you come to one that's password protected, all that means is it's for design school, so they get special stuff protected. They get first dibs at products. So just go to another one and you can check it out and you can see. And in that supply list are all the links to everything we do. So you can go watch the videos. You can see the blog posts. We have a whole blog. You can just go and get lost and have fun in there. But I teach floral design with silk flowers. And then I also help you teach and learn to sell your items on Etsy. And I love that too. Because then I can help you not only create, but learn to sell and do all the social media and all the things. So we have a little bit of everything. So I'm putting my bow in first. I just got a really pretty bow. Let me curl in these tails and cut that. And then we're going to start to add in the florals. Now sometimes I put the bow last. Today it's going to be first. All right. Let me curl these dudes up because I'm going to make them really pretty on the end. All right. Oh, thanks so much. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you. I'm just going to cut this neat. Yeah, in design school this week we did some really cool, there are centerpieces that use this really neat obelisk planner. So cute. I love it. All right, I'm just curling these up. You can curl them up or down or vice versa. Hi, Cheryl. Thanks. I'm so glad you're here. My family's doing great. Thank you for checking on them. Everybody's good. Everybody is good. All right. Now with 4-inch ribbon, which we used in here, you can do so many fun things with it because I can make it have a lot of movement. I can curl it up and move it down. It's fun to play with. Or if you just want to go classic, you can just straighten out the wire and just keep it nice and straight. You can play a lot with it. All right, let's get going with our greenery. We're going to lift a bit next. Okay. Yeah, our design school is our class that we have. It is where I teach you virtually every week how to learn the principles of floral design so you can make your own designs. So if you've never seen me on the platform you're watching me on, you know, make sure you're liking, subscribing, following, all the things so you can see all the things we have to offer. All right, we have a lot of new viewers, so I want to make sure you understand what's going on over here, which you can't see off camera, okay? This is a glue skillet, and you can see it right now, everybody? I think everybody can see it. So the glue skillet is a way you can apply hot glue to things without like pulling a trigger on a glue gun, and it's really easy to go ahead and dip our stems in there and put them in our wreath base. You're going to see me doing that a lot. You might be familiar with that if you've done wreath making before. You may not, but that's what I'm going to be using. Okay, and it's off to the side here because it's not pretty. Thanks, Melissa. Thanks for all the love. Now this is our fishtail fern. Fishtail fern is one of my exclusive greeneries we have made just for us on Khalees.com. I like to use it where I stagger the pieces. So one will be a little taller, one will be a little shorter. And then once I do that, I trim them to where they're equal. All right? So let me do that. Let me trim it. And let's start putting these in. Now generally when we do a design, we do what we call setting the perimeter. And so what that means is setting like the baseline of how big I want this wreath to be, and I generally do that with greenery. Now when I'm teaching, sometimes we break that rule and we do it a little bit differently, but in general we're doing setting the perimeter with the greenery. So that's what we're doing first. So I'm going to keep putting this in. If you need to find the ribbon I'm using, it's on the supply list for this project, okay? So if you're on the website, Khalees.com, just go to supply list. This is the most recent supply list. And you'll see all the supplies laying there on the table, on the image, and you just click in. Click in and you're there. So let's put some more in. I'm ready to dip these in. Hi Janet, hey Alyssa, good to see you. All right, we're gonna keep putting some greenery around the outside. Now that's the fun part because you can go as big or as small as you want. You could go way out and enjoy that, or you can keep it tight to the base. You have all kinds of options. Hi Leanne, welcome. I'm so glad you're here watching. Thanks for being here. Oh, from South Dakota. Fantastic. I dare ask, how cold is it there? Hopefully you're having a warm front. Hopefully it's not too bad. All right, let me keep, I like using these in twos. I think it's just easier to place them in. And then automatically you get a good shape rocking. So I'm gonna come out from under the back of the bunny over here. Now another thing I do is if I can see like some of my glue showing, I take and put a little bit of Spanish moss on there. That's something a little bit different, but I enjoy like covering my mechanics as I go, not after. All right. Anytime you want to head over to my Etsy shop and check it out, especially if you're new, we've got like 45,000 sales on there, and a lot of those are wreath making supplies. But what you don't know is about 13,000 are just wreaths. We've sold thousands and thousands of wreaths online. It's probably actually more than that by now. But that's used to be all I did was make wreaths and sell them. And then what happened is people started asking me, how do you do this, Khalees? Show me how. So that's what's pretty cool to be able to, now we've had our design school for 6 years already. And when people ask how, I can actually help show you how, right? Yeah, so if you need a clickable link to the supply list, you can head over to YT on our page, and there's a clickable link right there for you to see what we're doing, okay? All right. Okay, let's come in here. Greenery's in. I'm going to start with my next piece I want to do is I'm going to work with these daisies. This is a really good color palette. I've got creams and pinks, light pinks, so that goes perfectly together. I've got 2 bushes of this on here. Now, I take and push up the greenery on this because I don't mind it, but I don't love to have it way down on the stem. I kind of like it up by the head. This is the head of the flower. And so if you push up the greenery up under the neck, right there, you know, you kind of push it up, it just creates a little prettier bloom. Kind of cluster it up together. Okay? Thanks for following. Thank you, guys. Thanks for the sharing and following all the things. All right, I'm going to cut this all down. Cutting it down. So here's our first bush. And one of the things I like to do is take and pre-cluster these before we even go in. So I'm not just randomly shoving them in. I'm thinking about all my placement as we're going in. So I'm going to take, and I'll do like a pink with a cream would be nice. I think that would work. And we're going to do them in 3s. So how about a dark pink, a light pink, and a cream in one cluster. So I'm going to make that cluster before I even get ready to trim and put them in. Okay? And then I'll trim that off and we'll start going in. Good evening. Good to see you two from Kentucky. I love it. I'm in the Houston area, guys. If you're new, welcome. The easiest way to keep up with all the things we're doing is get on our text list. And that's textkalee.com, and you can sign up and get on there. Because then we'll just send you a text. We pay for the text to you. So all you got to do is just opt in and you're good to go. I rock the blonde. Thank you. You know, it was like the gray was coming, Susan, and when the gray was coming, we were like, we're gonna do something about that, right? Hi, Mary. Good to see you. All right. Take and bend these. So I'm making every cluster as I come in here. This is going to be so cute. Let's kind of come down. And then I put a little bit of moss in there because I want to kind of stabilize those stems too every time I go in. You don't need a lot, just a little bit in there. We'll make another one. I like mixing, I like doing one of each color. Just makes it pretty easy. There we go. Yeah. That's one good thing about having the wires and everything is you can take and manipulate them how you want. And all that magic can come together. All right, so you see that? Now I'm just going to put that in the glue and put it on in. Let's come in here above. Honey Bunny and Kaya swung by and picked me up a cute candle for Valentine, which was very sweet. Kaya wanted to get it for me. Of course you did. Thought that was cute. All right. Okay, so we worked above the bow as our first part of the transition. All right, so now we're going to shift direction to work this way. All right, so that's something that you have to adjust with in every piece you do, so you have a kind of a flow going. Hi, Joanne. I'm so glad to see you. I'm just going to push those leaves up again. Oh, that was bound to happen. I decapitated it. I pushed a little too hard. There we go. It's back on. So what is on your dinner agendas tonight, guys? Especially if you're treating your loved one. What's the plan? Okay. I'm going to keep separating them into my little clusters. I think I'm going to do, let's change it up a little bit. Let's go 2 dark pink and a white. Thanks, Karen. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. Oh, Bonnie, my wedding ring. So a stone fell out of it, actually. The diamond, the main diamond fell out of it. And I actually just haven't gotten it fixed yet. So it's on the list to do, you know. Get it repaired. It's okay. The marriage is intact. Hi, Lori. All right, I'm just putting a little moss back here. Oh, I like that because that's like foofy at his booty. His little tail. Okay, I did 2 darks and a light. Let's do 2 lights and a cream again. Let's do it. Okay, I'm going to open these up. I'm going to keep going here. Now I put my bow here. So we're just going to kind of pull it out of the way a second. I'm going to go right into there with my next cluster. So these are kind of going down, pointing down. Let's go in here. Right, I'm going right below the bow. And then I'm going to put a little moss in there too. I usually just take my moss and roll it into a little ball. And then I use that ball to cover the glue, but also to hold the stems in tight in the frame. All right, let's bring this over. I think we got a good start. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clusters starting. And I do have some extra heads over here too. A few left, and I have a little bit of greenery we'll bring back in a little bit. Another big element we're going to use are these berry clusters because they're so cute, and I love these things. Look at these. Ooh, these are going to be so good in here. So I want to use these nice and clustered, like a full berry when I do them. So I'm going to take and start to kind of bend them. Anytime you get florals that have the wire in them, which is the stuff we sell on Khalees.com, I'm always trying to make sure it's got a really strong wire. And the more extended the wire goes through the stem, the better that is for us, because then we can add that little bit of detail. So I'm going to use these where we use a couple above the bow, and we'll use 1 below, okay? So these are pretty thick to cut, but when they have these little serrations in the stem, if you can see them, all right, that's where you can come and cut it. All right, so I'm going to do that on all 3 of these. So when you cut it, it's a little easier to cut there. So if you've ever wondered, why do they have that? That's why. So we're going to get everybody moving. Thank you, Bonnie. I'm glad you liked it. Mexican is y'all's favorite food, Vicky? Oh, nice. Sounds delicious. Oh, fresh guacamole, too. Nice. Yummy. That would be a winner in our house also. Okay. What just fell out? Oh, a little flower. That's okay. So I'm going to cut these up that little line, and then they're a lot easier to cut. Thanks, Paula. This bunny swag we did in design school. This one over here we did in design school. Matter of fact, we did 1, 2, all of those in design school behind us. I was filming pink projects today. So when I'm going to film a bunch of projects at once, then I kind of set the background to match. And so we have pink going on today. Hence the pink shirt, right? All right, everybody's got a good movement. Now we're going to start to go between each cluster. And I really want these berries to kind of lean in. They're going to come towards the bunny itself, all right? And it's okay if they touch the bunny. We call that breaking the plane in design school. And what it is, basically, you're overlapping different elements. So important in your designs. And if you're watching this now or on the replay later, just let us know if you need more information about design school or you need the supply list for this project. We'll be happy to help you find it. We've got lots of inspiration on our website or our blog, Khalees.com. You can go check it all out. Okay, so this one's going to come in here, right above the bow. So I'm going to do the same thing. We want everybody kind of moving over to that side. So we'll keep moving it. Thank you, Paula. Thank you so much. Hi, Jeanette. Hi, Vicki. This is an 18-inch wreath base. And you can always go to our website and find exactly what we used in the project. And I would love for you to purchase from us and buy from us. But even if you just want to go there to get, you need to get the supplies, you want to make it, maybe you already have the supplies in your stash, you can still go to the supply list to help you find what's on there, okay? This particular project is a supply list. Sometimes we have kits. We've had a lot of Easter kits that have been coming out recently. Fun ones, bunnies, all the door hangers. All right, I'm going to have that kind of pop in there. That's pretty. Now, I'm going to move this guy up a little bit. And we're going to come work on this bottom section right now. And the next set of berries, I'm going to have kind of trailing out the bottom here because I get all excited about stuff coming out the bottom. It gets so exciting. All right, come on here. And I'm going to go right down here and pop it right at the bottom. Oh my gosh, so pretty. And I'm going to pull this back. So a lot of people ask, Lee, how do you plan out your projects? How do you plan out design school? And what happens is we plan, you know, basically 6-8 months ahead, planning for our projects, what we're going to be teaching and doing in class, what we're going to be doing on the public page where you guys are all watching right now. And that way we have beautiful, cohesive looks that go together. And if you ever shop with us on our live sales, I try to have all the products that coordinate and go together. So you will purchase things, you will use them, you'll create them, and kind of I hope, my hope is that you start to enjoy the process of creating, and you enjoy using artificial florals and wreath attachments to create beautiful pieces. And you get the peace that that brings, because that just literally brings me so much stress relief and peace. And I just love to spread that. You know, it's hard to describe, but it is just such a neat thing. I used to tell Richard when I get home from work, I'd be like, I got to get out there in my happy place. And that means in my workroom, creating and just enjoying that whole process of creating. So I love it. So you can see already when we put the berries in, how they kind of covered up some good amount of real estate. We already get a lot of nice depth we're working with. We're going to come back in, and this is kind of like a greenery filler flower combo. It's got both. And I'm going to cut this stem rather than tear it. So the way we do that is I'm going to cut these. I want them a little bit longer than they come here. If I just tear them, they're going to be a little too short. So I'm going to trim them and cut them, okay? Thank you, Kathy. How can you get to the supply list? If you just go to Khalees.com, and if you're on mobile, you just click the little hamburger. There'll be a link for, if you don't know what a hamburger is, that's the 3 lines that stack up. Boom, boom, boom. They're on every website. We call them the hamburger. If you click that, there will be an option for supply list. And if you are watching on a platform that allows clickable links, we put a link in there for you. Okay, so you can just click and shop. Hi, Max. Good to see you. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Amanda. Happy Valentine's. Thank you. Oh, Gail, thank you so much. I'm so glad you like that. You love the supplies, Bonnie? Oh, thank you, guys. I work hard to tell a story with my designs, and I also try to tell a story for you guys to be able to create pieces together. I have a background of doing craft shows, and I learned quickly if you could tell a story with your whole craft booth, how valuable that will be to your shopper, and how that will get them more. They'll get you more than the one sale. They'll want the wreath. They'll want the coordinating centerpiece. They will want the mailbox swag, and maybe they can't buy all that at once, but the fact that you can do all that reminds them, hey, next time I'm coming back, and this time I want a swag, or I want a garland, or all of that type of stuff. But when I first started creating, it was just strictly because I love doing it, right? You know? Yeah, I'm live everywhere, so if I'm not looking directly at you, it's because there's several cameras streaming at once. So I'm never going to be looking at exactly at the right camera because not all platforms play together. All right, so we're going to use this in between our other greeneries, and we're going to break up our floral clusters. That's what this piece is for, okay? So I'm going to start to bring this in. And this is going to help create more dimension, depth. My design school students, my KDS Blue Merinos, they get tired of me saying more depth and dimension means more money, but that's just what it means. Frankly, the more you can create that depth, the more you're going to be able to demand for your product and your finished work. Okay, so I started with that one there, and let's work right behind it, right here. Kind of bring this one, this is a kind of little longer piece. I'm going to bring it in here, let it kind of pop out. Perfect. Now let's come back to the middle. So you can see already we're starting to build up that dimension. And the only thing I want to remind you is if you can see your glue, you've gotta clean it up, pop some moss on it. We don't want to see that. We want all of our mechanics to be hidden all the way. This one's a little long. I'm going to trim it a little shorter. Hi, Karen. Happy Valentine's Day. Hi, Patricia. She says, I'm in design school. I'm a hobbyist. I don't have a business. Khalid's a fantastic teacher. Thank you, Patricia. I love that. I love it. You just love getting in there and creating. I love that. And we've got a lot of students like that. And for those of you who are just on YouTube and you don't want to be on the FB, we have it where our portal, we put our lives in the portal also, so you can access them there. You don't have to be part of the Facebook community unless you want to. Okay, here's my bow, all pretty poofy there. Now, I've got to come through with the filler flower down here at the bottom now. Thank you so much. I'm glad you love my videos. Yay! That makes me feel so good. You guys are spreading me the love tonight. I love that. Thank you, Karen. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like my hair. Thank you. I never knew I was going to like being a blonde. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I was not liking that gray. And you know, God does that to you where he gives you that gray right in front. I'm like, put the gray in the back. I wouldn't even notice it. But, I mean, literally it was coming right here. We took care of that. I should be proud of that gray, right? Okay. I've got that one here. Let's come up and around. I'm going to come on this side all the way up. Right behind Mr. Bunny. Yeah. Oh my gosh, so cute. I love that. Okay. Got two more left. All right, and I really kind of want to start to work it around the bow. I like to soften the lines of the bow, so I'm going to bring this up a little bit again, and we're going to work in bow land right now. So the bow is 4-inch ribbon. It's beautiful, but it's kind of, it doesn't feel worked into me yet. So that's what we're going to work in. I want to work it into the design where it's not like out on its own. Kind of, I call that softening the edges, basically. And we're going to do that by breaking the plane here and overlapping the greenery with the ribbon. And it just makes it feel like it's in a garden. I love this spray. I had already picked to use this on the video tonight, and somebody was buying a bunch of it today on the website. And I was like, huh, wait a minute. I need that for the video tonight. That's all right. They left some for you guys, but not much. Oh, thank you. Right, Linda? Yes. Oh. Hey, that's okay too. I'm sure one day I'll let it just be all natural. But I figured I never really had my hair dyed or anything till I was older, so I'm like, I can do it. All right, let's bring the poofy loops up here. Now I'm going to add a little bit in above the bow now, okay? So the rule is the transition occurs at the bow. So I can't come and shove stuff coming down over the bow right now. It'll mess up the lines and the flow we have going. You can do it, it just will make your work look not as clean and neat, and you won't have that fluid movement that you're looking for. So kind of set yourself a transition and stick with it if you can. So I'm going to use some of our greenery for that. And these pieces are so easy to work with because you just push them right up. And I can make them nice and kind of chunky full. But I'm going to still cut this really long, right? Okay. Hi, Kathy. Happy Valentine's Day to you, too. All right, and I'll bring this one kind of the inside, just bring it in here. And we'll pop her in. Perfect. And then how about a little bit like right in the middle of the bow? I think that would be cute too. I like to make those little clusters like that. I'm going to put one right in the center. And then I can kind of pull it forward, I bet, to kind of go in the middle of that bow. Ooh, let's do that. I like that. Okay, how about one underneath too, right in the middle? Y'all, this is coming together so super cute. I love it. We are going to have a few daisies left that we might use in a different project later. So you didn't need all of. Oh, that's perfect. And it looks nice and full. Let's see what I want to do with this one. I think it's looking pretty cute, y'all. Look at that. Isn't she cute? For a super easy project, we're going to take 3 supplies and one gorgeous bunny wreath base here and rock out the cutest wreath. Now let's start with the base. I want the little tail to shoot off this way. So let's start off with our double curl with the one pretty glittery sprays in there. I'm going to hold this like a pencil and we're going to bring it over to our electric skillet and just swirl it in. And I'm getting glue on there. You can use a hot glue gun. You can't, when you use a hot glue gun, you can't touch the glue and stuff like I'm doing here. It's at a lower temperature in the glue pot. So sometimes you might see me be able to touch the glue faster. Now I like to take these curls and kind of bring them forward and give them a little dimension and pop them like that. That's stinking cute already. We haven't even done anything. Adorable. Now, the other one with the tail, let's have it crisscross and kind of come out this way. Okay, and the tail's going to sit in the middle. So I'm going to take that and give that a little swirl again in the electric skillet. Okay, and let's crisscross these. Now, if you haven't seen the one we did in pink, it's very similar. We did it a little bit different. So I would take a little time and take a look at both the videos to see which one you like better. And you could maybe do a hybrid version of what you're seeing here. Now her little tail's there, but I like the idea that her little butterfly came in and just landed right here by the tail and have this kind of face up so when it's hanging on the door, it's going to really look good. So I'm going to take and bring a little glue to my butterfly this time with my dowel. Just getting that glue screen off. And this one's going to go on the top. Now, since this base is made of angel vine, it's very easy to press things into, and we had it designed really thick. So you don't have to worry about you don't have enough space to add things on there. You've got space to get into the vine. The basic design is there already. Look how quickly and adorably that came together. What we're going to do is just use what we call triangle placement to put these in. And we're going to form a triangle around the butterfly. So you've got a little pop of color coming every direction in the shape of a triangle. So there's one. And I'm just pushing this into the gold base underneath. And so 1, 2, the third piece will come right here to go with your Easter decorations. Look how stinking cute, y'all. She is so cute. And there's her little tail right here, hopping away. Isn't that precious? I hope you try one of these type of door hangers, especially these custom design pieces, because they're not available everywhere. And you can take this bunny and I can give him a little dimension, pull these ears up a little. She's got a little hanger ready to hang up and ready to go and make your door look so stunning and so different this season. Watching you, like and subscribe, follow us, and definitely come check us out over on Cleese.com. You guys know we have a giant blog library over there of all the videos that we have and all the supplies we use. And we'd love for you to kind of learn more about floral design. So we're so glad you're here. On Saturdays, we do a simple Saturday. And what a simple Saturday is it's just a really easy project that anybody can do. And we're going to be working with this cute little bunny frame. And she comes just like this. Literally just like this. You don't have to do a thing. I'm pulling up my comments here so I can respond to you guys while we're making. But my video is not popping up yet. So I'm waiting for it to say I'm live. Let's see if anybody can see us yet. Y'all let me know in the comments if you can see the video. I don't know why I don't see it here, but I'm going to continue to go on. If I have to make her twice, I'll make her twice. Yeah, that's so weird. Is anybody seeing this video? Oh, yay, I found you. I found you. Good, good, good. Okay. So what we're going to do is this frame comes like this, and she's super easy to add a cluster to. And we haven't done the cluster method in a while, and I'm going to show you simply what that is. And it's just you create a cluster of florals that's off of the base. So it's not built on the base, okay? It's built off of it. So we're going to do that first, and we can do it a couple of different ways and play with it a little. This is a fun technique, and it's great also for beginners because it's very, you're setting it up before you even get started, okay? Good, you guys found me. Good. Hey, Patricia. Hey, Kim. Hey, Kate. Hey, Dee. If you want to watch the behind the scenes, guys, you know we're behind the scenes over on TikTok at the same time. So you can have 2 devices open and ready to go if you want to come and see what we're doing. Now, let's start off first. We're going to make a cluster. So a cluster works like this. You need 2 floral picks. And I picked these out because they were kind of a cute Easter combo. And these have like warmer colors instead of pastels. And I thought this would be super cute against that moss green base of the bunny. So what we do is we make our own little cluster independent of itself. So instead of using our technique with the moss, let's be a little bit different, okay? You guys, if you're watching, make sure you like this video, you share it, and if possible, could you please follow us and like us too on the page you're watching? That helps us out a lot in our small business, and my family appreciates you so much by doing that. And that allows us to come in and still me be able to give you free content like this so you can create things like this on your own. So take these and I'm going to curl them up first. So I love twigs, but I usually like to rein them in a little and totally curl them up. You guys, make sure you're on our text list. We will text out our entire supply list for this project to you guys. And it has clickable links in it, so you don't have to go hunt down anything I use. We'll have that all in the supply list. This, what we're doing right now, is called a shaking hand. So I'm taking and shaking hands with each piece, and I'm making it really nice and spaced out. So when you get a floral pick like this, you have to really take your time and get everybody in their own zone, okay? Hello, Jennifer. Hi, Judy. Congratulations Oh my gosh, your son is home from the Navy? Or your daughter, Becky, congratulations. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for their service, and I'm glad she's getting a little bit of time at home. That is fantastic. Okay, thanks, Crescent. Thank you, Faye. You're so amazing. I'm so glad you're here. You guys are giving so much love. Over here on TikTok, I'm so glad you guys are watching also. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you. So, you notice how I just put these side by side and I left a little hole in the middle? This is the beginning. This is the beginning of our particular design. We're making a cluster. So the cluster gets made first. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to add just a little bit of greenery to this. Hey, Danae, good to see you from Beaumont, my neighbor down in Beaumont. Y'all, I'm in Houston area in a town called Sugarland. So I'm not far from Danae and Beaumont. This is an Erica bush, and it's got a berry and a little mini greenery on it. So we love that for the texture. And we're going with a lot of green on this particular piece. So what I'm going to do is take a couple of these and just push the berries up like this. Okay, but I need to leave this stem long because I'm working it in my cluster. So leave this, just cut that literally as long as you can get it. And let's cut 4 of these to start with, as long as we can do it. And push them up and then cut them on the greenery. Thank you for sharing it. Miss Rossi, I appreciate you sharing our video. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Hey, Christy. Hi, Debbie. Happy Saturday. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've cut 4 to start, and then we might need a couple more, but let's get started with that. Now we build these into our cluster, and literally I'm just going to lay this down to start with, okay? They need to crisscross in the center wherever we're laying them. So I'm going to pick 2 pieces, and I'm going to just kind of slide them in the back a little bit. Oh, look how cute. Look how much depth that gave it. More wispiness. Isn't that nice? I put those 2 there. Now I'm going to put 2 here, crisscrossing. So we're just mirroring up and down. What, you know, kind of matchy so far. And it's just what I do in the bottom, what I'm doing on the top. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Corrine. Hi, Jeannie. You guys are coming in hot now. Y'all must have got the text. Yay. Okay, now you see how much fuller the greenery made it? Don't you love that? Now, let's take a couple more pieces, and these we're going to make them even a little shorter. So that's why a lot of times I love to sell and have in our Cleese.com, I like to carry bushes that are pushers because they can be long and they can be short. If you've never come to one of our live sales, on Wednesday we have live sales, and even if you're not in the market to buy some of this product, you might want to come and watch because I talk a lot about why we want the products a certain way, guys. 25 years doing this with silk flowers, and I just have learned a lot over the years, okay? As anybody doing anything for a long time learns, right? You learn quicker and easier ways to do it. Now I'm going to put these kind of crisscrossing in the middle so I have a little bit in the center. Because our bow is going in the middle, it's nice to have something behind it just to hold it up just a little bit, okay? So let's knock this cluster out. I'm going to just use a regular 8-inch cable tie. You're just going to run that under everything. This is just one of the simplest ways to design. So I've designed it on the table. I like this. I'm happy camper, okay? Now, these 2 we put in the middle. Just hold off on those for a second. I'm going to get the cluster started by just taking and getting some pressure here. This is a cable tie. You find these in the electrical department at your hardware store. You can buy them online, of course. Okay, now I'm going to take one of these and kind of go from the top. I'm putting it through the hole. And then I'm going to take one of these on the other side and put it from the bottom. So I can bend these a little bit opposite. And I'll have them in the middle eventually, but I got to crisscross them to start with. Okay, just hold it and cinch it down. Now it's super tight. That's the one reason we like cable ties. I'm going to teach you how to use them in most everything I do in design school class because they hold it tighter than you can get a wire. Okay. Now you see me spread those out. Okay. Cut off these little pieces here. I don't need those shooting out too much. That's fine. And then before I even get that bow on, I want to take and I want to pop a little glue in here just to hold everybody tight. Because technically, if I did yank from the top or the bottom, this is my 18 years, 17 years doing craft shows. People pick up stuff crazy. If you sell your pieces, they'll pick it up by like 1 flower. So we want to try to make this stable right in the middle. Okay. So what I'm going to do is pop in a little bit of glue. And that'll just hold everybody nice and tight. Right here, just a little bit of glue. put it in. You guys, if you have questions, you are more than welcome to answer. I'm, of course, teaching, but I can still read your comments and answer questions. Thank you, Amanda. You love these? Yay! All right. Now, I'm just going to pop on just a little bit of moss in here. This is Spanish moss. We have more Spanish moss coming back to Calise.com. I'm very excited. It's been out of stock for a while, and I'm very excited to have it back. Okay? Now, we're making this as a cluster to put on something, but can anybody in the comments tell me what it looks like just right now? Give me some comments. What else maybe could we use this for right now, just as it is? This is so simple. 2 picks. We've used 6 pieces of greenery. Let's see. Let's see what y'all come up with in the comments. I can see the comments on TikTok and Facebook, so let's see what you think. Okay? Well, I'm going to grab our bow. Let's see. Marianne, we're live here with you, girl. We're live still right now. You're all good. Steffi says, oh, it could be a swag. Oh, absolutely. Look at that. It could be a swag up and down. Bow in the middle. It could be a swag over a cute piece of art. Have you ever done this in your home? Let me show you something. This is one of those clip flower frames. If I don't take out the camera getting over here. I mean, clip frames. So if this were hanging on the wall, you can make little mini swags to go over pieces of art that you have that is so stinking cute. This could also clip to this. Do you see how many different options you have? Oh, you guys are saying a lantern swag. Yes, it could definitely work as a lantern swag. So anytime you want to try using the cluster method, there's lots and lots of applications for it. So here's our bow we're going to use. Oh, Shawnee said centerpiece. You guys, I love the way you're thinking. So many different options. Blue Merinos are like hot with options. So here's our bow we made. We did this on a Bow Wednesday, and this is a 2-1-1 recipe, and it's kind of a hybrid bow where it has a funky bow mixed with some long tails. So it's a mix, okay? You guys, we're going to text out the supply list for this entire project. Everything I'm using is available on Calise.com, okay? Now, before I put this bow on, we're going to get our bunny back. Y'all go to textcalise.com and you can definitely sign up for the text list right now. Oh my gosh, you could put it on so many things, can't you? Now, I'm going to put this down here just on her bait, on kind of down at the bottom of her body on Miss Bunny. Look how cute it's going to be. Or I could go even higher. I could go here. I could do it anywhere. I could put it in the middle of her body. Whatever you want. You've got so many options. So let's take a second and let me bring her back a little bit, and let's tie her on. I'm going to put her lower. I think her silhouette will be really beautiful on a white door, and then just put this cluster down here. And we already have our cable tie in behind here. This came we put it on our bow when we made our bow. So I'm going to use this cable tie and the bow to attach it to the bunny. My gosh, Simple Saturdays are all about super simple projects. Who thinks they can do this? Let me know in the comments for sure. Just give me a I can. I got this. How about an I got this? Yeah. I know you can do this. Well, hopefully you can get through the grapevine. It's a nice strong grapevine. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to just cinch on this bow right here. You guys, Wednesdays, 7 o'clock Central, we do bow training. So if you've never come to Bow Wednesday, come on over and join us. We just have a blast making bows every Wednesday. And that's the same time frame after the bows we do the live sales. So you can learn about different supplies and why you should use different things. Oh, Angela says I got this. Jeannie says I got this. Yay! Gloria's going to try it. I love it, Gloria. Now you can leave these tails out. I'm going to curl them. And I just like this yellow sunflower ribbon. We're popping that in. And we didn't have sunflowers, but you know, it don't matter. It's just a cute pop of green. It looks so cute with her little... Oh, yes. Isn't she precious? Claudette can make it. Sally says, yep, Jeannie's got this. So, yes, you got this over here, Barb. Nice, nice. Y'all, I got to show TikTok for a second. Hold on. There is, she's all finished. So, whether you're wanting to make a wreath to sell, you're wanting to make, okay, think about this. How these could just pop in and fill up a craft show in a heartbeat. And you could sit here and just knock out these little clusters while you're relaxed, just rocking and rolling. I had music on a minute ago and I was just knocking out the little cluster, playing with it, getting different ideas for it to show you guys. You could knock these out super fast and then pop them on whatever it is you want to add them to. But when you have a neat, fun bunny frame like this, it's just super, super easy. Super easy. Okay, so we'll be texting out the text list here in just a few minutes as soon as we get it posted after this video. And you guys come join us next time we're live, and catch our replays, of course, because we love for you to have fun with flowers. And we're always going to have flower fun at its finest. And our design school course opens up again soon. Only a few weeks away now. So get on the text list, because those of you on it will get first chance to join and get all the little benefits of joining early. Kits are super easy to get you started on projects, and this one is not like heavy duty floral design. This is simple and easy and adorable. We're going to start off with a bunny base that comes in the kit, and she is really chunky. She's just loaded with angel vine and really gorgeously painted gold. So she's got this gold vibe, she's got these gold ears and polka dots. So much fun. And what we're going to do on her is we're going to add her little tail at the bottom on this gold tail pick that also coordinates and goes so well together with our door hangers. Now, this kit's available in teal or pink, and we're going to make them just a little bit different, but this is the pink version of the kit. So we're going to start off by taking the part that has the tail and just cutting that off and keeping that stem to about 2 or 3 inches, and you're just going to need some wire cutters. It comes with a hanger on it up here at the top, so you don't have to do anything special to hang this on your door. You're going to need a little bit of hot glue. So I've got my electric skillet with the hot glue off to the side. You could use a glue pot also, either way. But that's what I'm going to go ahead and get some glue on my stem first. And we're going to push her in right into the grapevine. Now I'm going to have her tail kind of go off to the left over here. You can pick which way you want yours to go. And you push it into the angel vine, and it's tight, a little bit tight, pressure going in, and that tail's going to go in right there. And you kind of want that to shoot off to the side. And the nice thing is it's all wired, so it's really super easy to do that with. And you can pull these curls a little bit forward. I think that makes it so much fun. And you can just have so much fun letting that rock and roll. Now get up here into this pick and take that top section off, and we're going to use this a little bit lower. You're going to want to dip it in your glue, but I have some glue left over on here from where I just pushed that one in. So I'm just going to tuck a little of that in side by side. So you've created her little tail sticking off to the side. And instead of having a bow or something, we're going to keep it super simple, and we're going to put a beautiful butterfly right in here on the front. Now you can take and fluff out her wings a little. I manipulate them to give them a little motion. And I want her to kind of tuck in this way. So I'm going to trim this off, and once again like a 3 or 4 inch stem, and we want to put that in right beside where her tail is. So I'm going to just get a little bit of glue on here, and then we will pop that in, go in the opposite way. And I want these to kind of overlap, so this tucks in right there. Oh my goodness, so cute by her tail. Like that butterfly just landed on her tail. Isn't she precious? She's very simple. That quickly this is done. This would be a great kit to do with your grandkids or your kiddos. And you could get, if you have double doors, you could get 2 pink. Or if you wanted to do, like say you had little boys in the family and little girls in the family, or grown-ups, either way, you could get a pink kit and then a teal kit. And you can make your own. And I'll do a video using the teal one too, but I hope you can see how cute she is and adorable, and she's gonna pop right off your door. So if you're not wanting to work with all the flowers we normally are, this is a perfect kit for you. Just work with simple, beautiful products and make her easy peasy to hang on your door, all right? Text this kit to 832-734-5201. We'll send you the links to all our latest kits, and you can grab it and make one for yourself. Let's get started. Okay, Bloomerinos, we're going to start off with a wreath base, and then we're going to add some gorgeous greenery to kind of shape out our design. So I'm using something a little different today. This is a ginkgo leaf. I love the way this looks. It is a really neat greenery to use, especially for spring, because it kind of looks like cabbage leaves, and it gives this really gorgeous, like neat green texture, and they're just really cool. So we're going to put this in first to kind of shape out our base. We're going to cut down our bush. We're going to need some wire cutters and trim them right off your bush. Just like this. So I'm going to get started here by putting these in. And I'm going to start kind of and decide what shape do I want my piece to be. And for me, I just like to work on the left side. So I'm going to do that right now. So every time I put in a piece, I also have to come in and add a little Spanish moss to cover up my glue. So I'm going to do that right here. I'm going to make a little Spanish moss ball and put it in there right on my glue. I'm just going to kind of start to separate it and put these pieces in. It kind of fans out really fun like this, and we can start to put these pieces in right here. I'm going to go this way. I am really excited about working with this color palette with all the purples. If you've never designed or worked with purples, you're going to be shocked. There's a lot of people who love purple, the color. So they want it for their home. They want it for their accents and their seasonal pieces. And you can go anywhere from the deep purples to the lavenders. It doesn't have to be trending. It can just be that some of your customers will like that. And when you're going into the spring or early summer, I think purple's a lot of fun. So I'm going to kind of come down here, keep adding a little bit more. And you want to shape out each of your stems when you're using it. See how these are just so pretty, organically pretty? I'm going to keep bringing them in. How about to right here? I'm going to go to right here. And then I'm going to just kind of change direction in a second so we can go the other way. Let me put this one in. So we got this nice little flow going up and around. And one of the things you'll have to learn as you start to design more is you have to kind of draw people's eyes in different directions. And how are you going to do that? So that's one thing I like to teach in designs. Let's bring one more in. I think we'll go right here. Okay. Really, really pretty. So we got a great base of the ginkgo in. I like that. It's looking good. I'm going to put my Spanish moss in there. Let's put one more maybe up here for a little height. And we're going to have some left. So that's good because you're going to want to have some greenery left from your two bushes so you can come in and add it to different locations as you start to put your design together. All right, come on in, buddy. Let's put a little bit more moss in here. So I use the moss to hold the glue, but also to hold space in the wreath sometimes, because that kind of secures your pieces really nice. And it's a technique I've used for years, and I love it. Now, you're gonna grab your next stem, and it has berries. It has like a little of like a hydrangea cluster, and then a really nice fern. This is such an easy stem to work with. These are great. I'm going to take and separate it out, and we're going to cut it into 3 different pieces. So I have 2 of these, and I'm going to cut them to 3 sections. Cut it down, baby, down. I'm doing about, I usually like to cut them to about 3-inch stems. So you see how here I'm separating it? Just cut it, and you get that nice little cluster on its own. Don't be ever afraid to cut up these stems into different pieces because you can make them go so far. And definitely shake hands with this. If you don't know what shake hands means, that is a term I use in design school. What it means is we're going to take and we're going to use all these great wires. You know, I only work with nice quality florals that really hold up well for my customers. And so I really like to shape it all up. You want to use the wires that are in there. Okay? Now, these berries and these little hydrangea clusters on here, they're going to work like our main flower in this. It's going to be different. It's going to have this real natural look. So I need to have good distribution of these over the whole design. So I've got to think about them when I start to put them in. Now, notice how fun this is like. This reminds me kind of like a wisteria, how it comes and trails over. So these kind of pieces are great to use on the edges right here, where it can trail over and out. So I'm going to go right into my glue over here. And then I'm going to bring it in over here to the side. If you don't know what a glue skillet is, I'd be happy to share our video with you about that so you can learn all about a glue skillet and have your own. But that's what you see me dipping them into, kind of off camera, right over here, okay? Now I got another little hanging one. Man, I love these hanging ones. I love anything that hangs or trails or is curvy, if you didn't know that. Now you do. Okay, So I'm going to use this one kind of opposite down here. Now, our flow goes up and over. So I need that hang to match that up and over look. So I can't just stick it in down there. I've got to have it kind of come in here to go up and over, or up here. And I'm going to go, I think, right here. Oh, I love this. I love this. Putting my glue on, and I'm going right in this section right here. And make sure you're coming behind and you're double checking that you have plenty of moss in there. Now see how quickly it's coming together? When you work with good quality materials, things build up faster. There's a lot less labor involved. Now I'm working with the pretty berries. Look at this. I'm shaping it up. I want to get some little bit of shape going on. And we're going to put one of these right here, kind of going up into this area. I gave it a swirl in my glue, and now I'm coming right in here. I'm going to fluff out. Oh, you see those ginkgo leaves going to work on this? This is pretty. Pretty. I'm loving it. Okay, now let's come down and up in the next section. So I'm going to use this one right here. And we're going to do the same thing. Shake hands. My big pet peeve is leaves being backwards, so I'll work hard to try to keep them from being backwards. I'll flip them around. I hate it when they're backwards. Ugh. All right, and I'm going to come right down here. So we got a great distribution so far, good spacing on here. We're doing excellent. I like the look we're creating. Make sure you come back over that glue with Spanish moss. I'm going to tuck it in there, and I'm going to hide the glue, but then I'm also going to use it to get in there and hold it in place. That looks really good. And these are such great wired stems. You can pull them out, and you want to do that because you want to create depth, because that means you're going to be able to sell your wreaths for more if you're a seller, or if you are making them for yourself, your wreath's going to be unlike anybody else has in the block. And when you create all this depth, it's going to make your little heart so happy every time you walk past it. That's what I like. All right, we have these smaller ones. So I'm going to take this one, and it's going to tuck right here, right to the side of that ginkgo. And I'm going to try to be neat and clean when I put this one in, because I kind of have a termination point for my florals over here, and I don't want it to be too messy. So I'm going to try to tuck it in, make it kind of pretty, just like that. And what I'm going to do is take this little piece, we're going to cut that off, and we're going to use it to hide the glue so it's a little prettier right here. So I'm going to just trim it off. We're going to put a little glue on the back, and we're going to go just right on that place. I'll put a little glue right there, and we're going to just let this lay right on top. Watch your glue strings if they're getting you. Got a pretty good one there. All right, and so that has a nice starting point to flow from. We can always add more greenery, and we'll work on a little detail there, but I want to make sure I had a bigger piece to hide the mechanics of the glue there. And then we're going to use this last piece right in here. So I've got a good flow of purple, and I've got my white, and I've got my good berries working all the way up. I could even divide this into two if I wanted, and I could put a little more of the one of them up there, split it, and have a little bit here and a little bit there. I think I'll do that. Oh, this is such a fun one. If you're a purple lover, let me know in the comments, because usually I'm always so amazed. My design school students will be like, I love purple. We have a lot of people who love it, and they're ready to work with it every time we do. All right, let's come up here. We'll go in this section. And we're going to put that berry. And I just kind of went between those two little places. Looks good. Now, before we get to the twiggy part, we're going to put the grasses in. I want you to step back and look for holes right now. And so that means you're going to look out on the shape of your design. And then wherever we have like a little hole, like here, we need a little bit more greenery in here. That's where we're going to bring some more greenery in. And we're going to start to kind of check the inside and check the outside. You're going to want to do both. Just check that line. So when you're checking the line, you're stepping back from your work and your design, and you are looking at the perimeter and the inside. If the inside of your wreath is open, you want to make sure you are giving it a good line. a really good one. I'm going to bend that one up. There we go. Oh, perfect. Let's put a little bit on the outside here. And I'm taking a little bit of care on the perimeter right here, because this is where our wreath starts and it goes around. I don't have direction changes in this design, so it's a little bit different. It's fun. It's fun to do these. I'm going to tuck this one up and underneath. Oh, you want to make sure it's going into the grapevine, not just going through the back. Perfect. See how pretty it looks down there now? It looks good. Yeah, that looks great. Come on in here, buddy. All right, now let's go up into here and add a little bit more in there. So this process will continue on until you are happy with what you are seeing. Let's go right in there. Oh man, and then we're gonna make it wispy. We're gonna make it wispy next. I'll get so excited. All right, let's come to the top. Let's go to the top, and I'm gonna trail over with these. Come bring these over. I'm gonna bring this one in right here. Oh yeah. And then let's do one just a little bit higher above. And I'm gonna have one piece left from my ginkgo bush, and I think I'm going to hold on to it just to make sure I don't need to fill in anywhere else, you know, at the last minute, in case there's some little area I need it. This right here is a gorgeous wreath, guys, which is 2 supplies from Finalizing.com, and we haven't even got to the next level, so we got more to go. But I love it already. Now we're to the grass part. So we're gonna put the grass or the twig, or sometimes the filler flower. In this case, this is gonna work like a double doozy. So in design school, we talk about filler flowers and grasses and why we're using them. And here we're using this as 2 for 1. So you're gonna take this, and it's easy to work with because all you gotta do is just take and cut these down into sections. If you tear them, then that just goes a little faster and a little bit easier on your hands. And you can save this wire for other projects you have going. Once you do that, you do have to kind of trim up the ends. All right, just make them neat and clean. You always have to make them neat and clean, otherwise you're gonna have a mess. We're ready to start putting these in. Our flow starts here. So you wanna start here and work all the way up, and I want a little of this drama everywhere in here. I don't wanna just have it just in one spot. I might actually start up and work down. So that way I make sure I get the drama at the top. So let's go in here. Come on, drama. I love putting twigs in, and flowering twigs and grasses are beautiful. I'm gonna bring my first piece in, and I'm gonna manipulate it, give it all that movement we talk about. So important. Now this functions as its own little drama here. So we're gonna kind of let that hang there. We're gonna come a little bit down. It's got its own cool drama. I've never had a berry or a twig that I didn't like. Pretty much. Never. Okay, we're gonna push this one in. This one's gonna go right here. Beautiful. And now I'm gonna work a third one. How about a third one in more to the, maybe to the outside right here. Okay? Isn't that pretty? And we're kind of creating this line that's coming down on the outside. You know, like a horse's mane? That's what we're kind of doing right now. Bring this one down a little bit more. So pretty. And all of these grasses are working to the outside. And that way, this keeps this very interesting, very different. And like, we want it to be different than you could just pick up at your local store. We want it to have flavor. And we want to say we made it ourselves. And we, you know, you can make your own designer wreaths. You don't have to go buy them. If you want to make your own, we're here to show you how. Let's bring one more into here. Now, if the idea of this just being on the outside just totally freaks you out, Cleve, I have to have some from the inside. That's okay. Go ahead. You cut yours a little bit shorter and put some from the inside. But I am going to keep mine all on the outside here. Try to keep people's eyes just going, whoa, so pretty. I'm gonna put this leaf here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we're gonna put number 6 kind of coming over the front. Still working on that outside, but just coming over here. Now, if you wanted to do this and you wanted to keep going all around, you could just get one more bush of everything and you would be set. You could come and complete the circle. I love making things asymmetrical like this. So, beautiful. Do you ever have some pieces of ribbon left that you're like, what am I going to do with these short rolls of ribbon? And I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to find pieces of that ribbon that coordinates and goes together, like the collection we're using today. And you're going to make the cutest little scrap bow, and it's really easy to do, and I'm going to show you how. So I'm going to start off by grabbing some ribbons that coordinate together. Here I'm working with a really pretty purple color palette. You can see I've got dark and light and check and just a bunch of different colors with purple in there. So they're different shades of the same color. And I'm going to start off with a base that's kind of really bold. So I'm going to start with this. It's going to be a cute little plaid. And I've cut it at about 12 inches long. A regular standard bow we would go from 12 to 14 on both sides of the bow. So we're going to do that here. Okay. So I've just dovetailed both ends. So that means I just fold it and cut up to make the little dovetail. And that's going to start at the base. And all I've got to do is just build up from there. So I'm going to cut another one. And even if you don't know like the order you want to put it in, that's okay. Just start taking your scraps and cutting them. We're going to start with everybody at the 12 inches to start, because we're going to build out a little base. I think you're going to like this kind of bow. We've done this a couple of times, but I don't think we've done one for the spring season before. It's fun to do these for different seasons, and you're going to find you're going to have pieces of ribbon left that, you know, you need to use up, and you can add these little bows or big bows to almost anything, and they kind of give you that different look. All right, so now I've got that one done. So I've got the check. So here comes all our 4 pattern. Now this is all wired ribbon, so you can, you know, make it go up or down or move it around. It's got movement to it. Let's bring our purple in. All right, we're going to bring it in. I'm going to trim it. So once I kind of get my size, I just build up from there. Now let's start to layer it once I get my dovetails done. And we're going to layer this up. So let's say, okay, maybe I'll put the solid in the back, and then I'm going to crisscross it just exactly how I want it here. All right, and I can kind of see a pattern starting. All right, now, so as you start to build up your little crisscross right here, then we can take and pinch it in the middle and kind of see how our bow's going to look. Okay, we need some more. That's not enough. So let's cut some more pieces, okay? And we'll start to lay them out again. And let's do 2 of every piece, and let's see how that works. And the cool thing is you don't have to make any of these the same. We're going to just layer it up. Now, that's kind of a good background base that we just saw. So what if we started making them a little bit shorter, take off about 1 inch, and doing the same thing for our second piece. Now, if you want to know where we're going to use this bow in the end, let me know in the comments, and we'll share with you the link of that video where we end up using the bow. But right now, why do you think we're going to make these a little more narrow? Not narrow, but shorter. Why are we going to make them a little bit shorter than the first piece? So I'm going to give you a second to kind of pop some answers there in the comments. I don't want you to get all worried about measuring perfectly on this. This is like a scrap bow. It's supposed to be a lot of fun, and we don't have to worry about it just being perfect. So every time I cut a piece, I'm just cutting those little dovetails into the back. And we want them a little bit shorter. So see how this one's a little shorter? Perfect. We're going for about 1 inch shorter altogether. And I'm dovetailing this one. All right, now let's do one more of the check. It's going to be so fun. And, oh, I dovetailed it first before I even cut it. That's because I'm getting brave. Let me see, right about there. All right, so all my different pieces are cut. And now I've got 2 of each piece. One that we did at 12 inches, and the other one we did, I would say, at about 10 or 11, something like that. So take your shorties and pull them off. So we're going to use those. Did you guess why we're going to use them? We're going to use those in the front, or I would call in design school the foreground of the design, the foreground of the bow, the front of the bow. Because they're shorter, they're going to let that background layer show up. So you're going to see that right now. All right, let's turn these and start to build our base. So I'm going to put a purple in. I'm going to layer this one kind of crisscross. I like that. And then I like a little separation between the drama colors. So I'm going to take and put a nice check in. Okay, and just keep gently twisting them. Crisscrossing, rather, not really twisting. And then I'm going to bring this one. How about this one? We kind of go like this. Oh my gosh, we're building this up so cute. All right, let's put on the next layer. Let's go. So now I want, since I have this purple here, just kind of make sure you're going across it. Okay, that's a little different right there, right? And then what about this? We want to go opposite this one. Ooh, we are making this so stinking cute. And then let's have this little check go opposite that one. And then this purple, maybe we'll work it right here. All right, now that we've done that, we kind of created almost like a star on the table. And the kind of the trickiest part will be to start to kind of move them just a little and start to pinch and gather this right here in the center. Just pinch and gather. Things are going to shift a little bit because you got to get them either to the right or the left of the center here. All right, once you start to pinch and gather, you're going to create the middle of your stinking cute bow. Look at this. Look at it popping up already. Oh my goodness. Look how cute. And all of a sudden, this little trim, like spare ribbon bow, is adorable. Now I'm fluffing a little bit here, but make sure you're happy with how you've got it, and look how cute that is. Now, you need to grab a wire or a cable tie or a pipe cleaner, whatever you want, whatever you prefer to use. And we got to make sure we're grabbing through that center and getting it nice and tight. All right, so I'm going to use my little green cable tie, one of my favorite things to use. Add some pressure, get it on there, and you can put it pretty tight. And now I've got to fluff it back out again. Look how cute this is going to be. So perfect. And what a great use for all that ribbon that's just kind of like, you've just got little bits left. Oh my goodness, y'all. So stinking cute. Now, trim off this part of the cable tie. Right here, I'm just using a little wire cutter to cut that off. And I think for your last step, you don't have to, you could use it more like a pom-pom and pull these up forward, but I'm going to spread it out more like a bow so it kind of keeps that bow shape I love. Like this. Y'all, I hear Nori. Nori's telling us, Mama, I'm here. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and take and add a little ribbon to the center. That's just one of my signature moves. And I think this pretty dark purple would be beautiful in there. And we're going to use that to cover our little cable tie. We don't need a whole lot. I'm doing about 6 inches. And I'll just take and fold it over. And I'm just folding it like this to get a little strip. I did 3 folds this time to get a little bitty strip. And I'm going to tie that. That's so cute. I'm going to tie that right in the middle. I love this. I hope you try this kind of scrap bow where you can make your own. You don't have to use scraps. We can plan on this from the beginning. If you love this purple color combo and you're one of our purple people, we'll have a supply list so you can get this exact ribbon right here. But look at that. Precious, adorable. I can't wait for you to try this simple bow. And if you've never made a bow before, this might be the perfect one. Think of all the combos you could do in there. That would be a blast. You could mix so many patterns. You're going to have fun. We've got the cutest little bunny door hangers that have come in. And we have been playing with these in design school. And I love using them. But I'm going to give you a little tip today that you can use on these door hangers or any other project you ever see. As even though this comes with one style of bow, what I can do is I can take and change the whole look of this just by changing out the bow here at the bottom. And it's really that easy. And there's always lots more you can do to make it even pop more. But we're going to show you how to do that really easy. I'm going to take my door hanger here and I am going to start off by deciding, how far I want to deconstruct this. I could just take off this bow and just go, keep it very natural and just keep the burlap in the background. Ooh, I was able just to pull it. Sometimes you may have to, you know, be careful and not tear it up. And you can save this for something else. Okay, pull that out. And if I just want this natural kind of country, kind of a garden look, this would be perfect. But if I want to go like a completely different way with my finished look on this, I can even take and pull off these. They're usually glued on, so we'll try to pull it. And then if it won't pull, we'll just gently snip it. You just have to be careful that you don't destroy things. You might have to use a little muscle. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty, y'all. Haha! Look at that. And I pulled it off, and I have the bunny head just right here like this. And super simple. And now there is a little bit of the ribbon or glue there, but no big deal. We're going to completely come in with another look. Now this one has a hanger on it, but we'll be using this bunny in either a centerpiece or a wreath. So I'm not even going to need the hanger, so I can take and just trim that off and take and kind of hide this in the back. When I did that in design school, I used this bunny. I just took and just kind of hid it back here. Super easy. So I'm going to do a little knot back here, and you won't even see it now, okay? There it goes. It looks really finished on the front. These little ears have wires in them. So when you get an embellishment, you know, feel around. Does it have wires? Can I take and how can I take and make this look a little bit better than when I just first got it? Or how can I change it for a different look I want out of the same piece? I got his little ears up. I fixed his little whiskers. They're looking adorable. Now I want to go ahead and add in the bow right here to the center. We made this bow on another video. This is one of the scrap bows I love making. If you need a link to learn how to make that, just let us know. We'll put it in the comments. And I am just going to tuck this right under his little chin right here. And we're going to glue that on. But before I do it, I want to think about how I can manipulate my ribbons to kind of come down a little bit. And I think it would even be precious if we were able to add like a little bit of greenery in there too. So I'm going to grab some greenery and we're going to pop that right into here. So I'm going to grab a greenery like this. It's just a really subtle looking piece where I've got greenery with a little bit of lavender. So look how perfect. This is just a perfect little greenery. So I'm going to get 2 pieces of that. So I don't need a whole lot off this bush. And I'm going to come in and just get 2 of these little longer pieces like this. So just like that. I want you to cut a couple of pieces. And what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of glue these behind our bow when we put them in. We don't have to get really fancy here. We're just going to lay them on the muslin. And I'm going to come in with some glue. I've got my electric glue skillet off to the side. And what I want you to do is just take here and lay a little glue right there. Pop in a little bit of greenery on either side here. It's going to come out of the bow. So simple. That went in first, okay? And it's kind of, I've got it nicely melding in the fabric and they're touching each other. So I'm making a nice little glue sandwich here. And then here comes some more glue. And we're going to layer this right on top, a little bit below it. I don't want the bow to be too high. I want to kind of bring it low. And then I'm going to take the bow and we're going to just push that right in here. So we're going to hold it for just a minute. And while I'm holding it, I can take and fluff it out while I'm holding it tight in that center because I need that glue to set up. And then I'm going to bring just little bits of this greenery through. Just like that. Look at this. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic? Oh my gosh. That simple change is quite different from our original bunny, but not that difficult. Really easy to like change the look of a wreath attachment that you want to use. And now this is going to go perfect in any type of other piece. And if I want to add this to a dowel, this could go in a centerpiece. If I left that hanger on, we could have left this as a door hanger. Or I can just go through the back and attach it on a wreath or whatever works for my decor and how I like to decorate. Hey Glimmerinos, we're going to do the last few steps of this project. Have you been following along our adventure while we've been creating this project step by step? And we've been having so much fun doing different things with it and kind of building on the style of the design. So in one video we made this entire wreath here, and we taught you how to put these pieces in place in order to get this gorgeous lush look with the ginkgo leaves and the berries. And then on another video we showed you how to make this scrap bow right here in order to kind of take your wreath attachment to the next level and make it look different than others that will have the same attachment as you. If you need the link to either of these videos, just let us know. They're all in the supply list for this project, and you can watch the whole progression as we bring the project together. But our very last step is to add the bunny head to the wreath. Because this is on a wire, nice little wire frame under here, it's got a lot of stability. All we need to do is just take an awl that's kind of like an ice pick, and it has this little pointy tip, and it goes really easily through fabric, and it can poke right through it. I make this little pokey poke through the back, okay? We give him a piercing. This bunny's been wanting to get a piercing, whether he wants it or not. Then we're gonna pull that out, and then all we've got to do is run a cable tie. You can use a wire. They have a little bit more rigidity, so they're a little bit easier to get through here. And then you just run that right through there. And I'm gonna come over to my wreath base. And this wreath is just so sweet the way we designed it to where the bunny can just sit right in there. Isn't that adorable? And we're gonna put it right in. Let me move you guys over so you can see it really good here. There we go. So I'm gonna put the bunny in right here to the little hole we left. And then we'll just take and cable tie him right in. And now we're gonna get this nice and tight right here. To this part of the, you won't even notice. He'll be sitting in there so cute. And I'll just take some wire cutters and trim off the cable tie part. Just like that. Now my last step is I'm gonna just fluff out his little scrap bow we made to go on there. And these ears have wires. And then he's set, ready to go. And not only did you learn how to make this one design wreath, but we showed you 3 different ways to work with the same concept to kind of take it different directions. And that's the kind of tips and tricks I teach you every week in design school. And we would love to have you in our class so you don't miss another minute of learning how to design and all the skills, tips, and tricks that you need to take your work to the next level. We don't want you just pushing and shoving things in. I want you to have proper placement and learn how to create lines, depth, and dimension in your pieces. And I'd love to show you. So come join us in design school. And y'all, if you need the links to any of this, just ask in the comments. We'll send you to the supply list. And the supply list has links for everything. Oh, hi, Blue Burritos. I was just unpacking our supplies from our latest kit, and you are gonna love this. It is so cute. This is a bunny family. Let me show you the bunnies. And you get 3 bunnies in the kit just like this. You get a couple of carrots. Let me show you those. Some of our favorite fishtail greenery, a big carrot and a little carrot that are so plush and fuzzy, and our 2 ribbons that go perfectly together. Yep, this is going to be the fun project you're going to make. This would be great to do with the grandkids. I think you're going to love it. It is a kit, and we're going to make it step by step together. I think you're going to love it. So come on in here, get started with us. We're going to have some fun. Hey guys, if we never met before, I'm Kali with Kali's.com, and what I do is teach floral design, but sometimes we like to do fun projects like this that are, they have some floral design in them, but they're just cute and they make a big impact on your door. And that's what we're going to make today. And this particular one we use, you'll get 3 of the bunnies in the kit, and we're going to make like a little family with them. So I want you to start off by putting 1 bunny at the top, and you could do this on a table. The kit, the only thing you're going to need, it's going to come with all the crafting supplies, but you're going to need some wire cutters, some cable ties, some hot glue, and some floral pins, or a way to pick things and put them into the foam, and a little bit of floral foam. So the basic floral design supplies you'll have to have, but we're going to have all the fun components, so you won't have to go anywhere to grab those. Now, I'm going to grab some cable ties, and we're going to build our family and put them together. So what you want is 1 bunny up high, okay, and then 2 bunnies down low, just like this. And you can decide how high you want them, but it looks really cute like this if you have the little crook of their neck right around the side of the body right here. And then we want these to come in the middle so we can attach them. So I'm going to show you, we're going to do that one side at a time. So we're going to start with a little head here and attach this first. And I like to kind of, if you'll do it backwards, you can kind of keep all the ugly part on the back. So I'm turning it, you can tell by the ears which is the backwards part of it. It's a little hard to see from the front. But then the cable tie can kind of be hidden in the back. All right, I gotta go up just high enough where these bodies can come together, something like that. So let's start with the first one. So remember, everything's backwards right now while I put these in here. And there's a little support wire, so if you can get through that a little bit and then come back around, it will keep it a little more camouflaged. There's not going to be a lot of weight on this or anything, so you're probably pretty good. Now, if it's giving you a hard time, this is why I like to keep that awl there. Right here, you can just take an awl or something pokey like a screwdriver, anything that's, it got to be a little bit smaller, but I can poke a little hole under here, and now I can make a little pathway for my cable tie to go in. So I just put it in just like that, okay? And sometimes they'll go through easy, sometimes you're gonna have to help it a little bit. Hopefully we got a good plan here. Yeah, see how easy that goes through? So we're gonna put the first one on. I'm not gonna tie it tight yet, I'm just gonna get it holding a little, okay? So it's just going like that. Now let's go on the other side, still backwards, right? And do the same thing over here. I wanna make sure they're kind of even. All right, when I get ready to tighten them up, how's that gonna look? That's gonna be so cute. There's gonna be the whole family on the door. Oh man. Okay, let's do the same thing over here. So I'm gonna use our little trick we just did and get that fuzz off there and just go through with my awl and make a little hole. And we're just putting a little more effort into this because I'm trying to just hide the mechanics. Because I'm trying to teach you right so it'll look really good and finished on the front especially. Okay, so let's bring this one over here. And you do need to kind of match them, you know, kind of keep them similar. They don't have to be exactly perfect, but close. So I'm gonna go up a little higher here. And let's see, how does that look? I think it looks pretty good. All right, so let's go through here and attach this one on this side. That's not gonna let me. It says you gotta get out that awl and poke a hole, ma'am. It does make it a lot easier. All right, come on through there. Come on through the hole, buddy. All right, I got it. And now we're gonna take and attach this very loosely, not tight yet. The reason I'm not doing it tight yet is I need to make sure we've got enough room to be able to, you know, wiggle it if we need to wiggle it, but we're doing good. All right, we'll pull these tight now that we know they're right where we want them. And you're gonna try to just push that little knobby part where it's kind of where it won't scratch somebody's door to the inside here of those heads. All right, now let's go down here to the bottom and we're gonna attach these together right here. So same song, different verse. Make a little hole, make a little hole. So by doing this with the cable ties, what we're doing is we're just making it a nice strong door hanger that's several pieces put together, but it's so cute. It really is cute. Now, if you're worried about any of this showing, you can take a little bit of ribbon, like some little green ribbon or some Spanish moss, and you can cover this on the back. I am not too worried about it because it's going to be on the back and it's green. It coordinates, so that looks pretty good. And my last thing I want to do is I want to put another cable tie right at the center of the base so that it really makes it solid. So I'm gonna do one side over here because we're gonna put all of our fun stuff we're putting on, our carrots and our ribbons and our greenery, is all going in this middle section. So we've got to make sure that's strong. So I'm gonna put one more piece here. I think we're gonna end up using 5 cable ties on this base. All right, and one more over here. I love that we're doing it all in the back so nobody sees anything. Okay. Put my all through, and now I'm going to pull it back. You could use like a shish kebab skewer. Just be careful you don't hurt yourself. But making that little hole makes it so easy. All right, here comes our last one. So pulling it tight, and I'm just going to tuck it in right here behind. All right, now just trim off all of these little tails poking out. I'm going to grab my wire cutters, and we're going to trim all of these guys off. You hear the clip, clip, clip? That's good. We're moving on. So look, that was the back. Are you ready? Look at the front. Look at the front. You're not going to see anything. Don't worry about it moving, because we're going to put some foam right there in a minute, and this puppy is going to be perfectly ready to go. Isn't he cute? All right, so cute. All right, next step, get the foam on. All right. So the floral foam is. You want to use this foam right here. It's like dense. It's not sandy. It's dense, and it's not made to get wet. We're going to put it right here where everybody comes together in the center. Okay? I'm going to put a little glue on that. We're going to glue it, but that's not enough. You're going to need to use some wire to attach it as well, just for security. I'm dipping this in hot glue in my glue pot. So you get a bunch on there, and now we're going to go right in here. Okay? And what we're going to do is I am going to use some of my floral pins. I've got them in my little basket under here. And they're just a little metal U pin. You can see them. Can you see that? It's a little U. See that little metal pin? All right, I'm going to take and glue this. Put a little glue on that, and we're going to go right into the body of the frame of the bunnies and into the foam. So that way it just holds it on there. You don't want to rely just on the glue anytime you're putting any kind of heavier attachments. These aren't that heavy, but I just don't trust that the foam would stay on. It might come off. So we're going to back it up with several of these little pins. And that's the same technique we would use in our class. And we're teaching how to do floral design. You use these pins for this. You can also make some out of some heavier wire if you don't have them. You can make some, or you can just buy them in the pack at the craft store. Okay, so our little bit of foam's on. Now we get to do the fun part. The fun part is putting our carrots on and in place and getting our bow in. So we're going to start with the big carrot first. I want him to kind of come off the side right here. So I can still kind of see my bunnies, but he's working off the side. Is that so cute? I love that. So it does have a seam of the fabric, so I'm going to watch where that is, and we're going to just put this in right here. And the easiest way to do is I can attach it here at the top, right to the greenery first, and then I will also use a floral pin to pin it into the foam to hold it. But I want to count it, I want to make sure it's going to stay. So I'm going to grab my awl, and we're going to poke a little hole, and we'll just use our cable tie up there. So I'm poking a little hole in here, just like this, wiggle, wiggle. And it'll go right through the fabric. And you want to hold that spot for a minute, because we're going to go through there with the cable tie. Let me grab a couple more cable ties over here. All right. And you'll just push that through. It's got batting and things in there, but usually when you use the awl, it'll go right through. Okay? So now take that around. We know it's going to sit right next to our foam, but we got to get it attached nice and strong. Once again, I'm going to go through the bunny and not just around, so it's a little bit more stable and it's not wiggling as much. So we're going through. I love these bunny frames. They're just so forgiving, easy to work with. So easy. There he goes. And we'll put that on there nice and tight. Okay, just like that. Cut that one off. Bunny's getting her carrots. So cute. I'm going to play with those leaves a little. One down, one up. And now let's poke these in to hold it against the foam. I want to tuck it right there. So just take and poke a hole. All right, but you need glue on that. You can't just put those in and they won't stay because they're like a smooth metal. So you're gonna put some glue, and now we're gonna use that to push into the foam. All right, push it on in, and now that's gonna make it snug right there. You got a little glue on it, no big deal. We're gonna just let that set up, and we'll be ready to go. Now, grab your bow. We made the bow on another video, so you are gonna want the link to that video, which you will get the link to it if you purchase the kit, and you can also ask for it here or find it on the supply list for this project. So the bow needs to tuck in really tight right here. So I'm gonna add a wire to the back. We have a cable tie in here, but we need to get that actually on a strong wire, so it'll be a little stronger. And I'm gonna use 18 gauge wire and make a little bit bigger floral pin. We could save that for another project. And just take and make this, so it's a little bit larger than a normal floral pin, and I'm gonna push it on into that foam wire. So there it is, a big U-pin, okay? And we're gonna push it in. And I want it right next to the, carrot, just like right on in here. There you go, perfect. Now fluff it out. It's gonna take a little beating here. I'm gonna fluff it back out, and that's so cute already. And make sure you find the center of the bow. It's right here, and I want that to be kind of matching the angle of the carrot. There's so much in design that is about angles and things, and I love to teach you that and show you that and make it easy on you. Okay, carrot time. Grab the second carrot. This carrot's gonna kind of come down a little bit more. I want this carrot to be at the center of the bow, but kind of work its way down into the bunny tails and the ribbon tails right here, okay? So find the seam on the carrot. Let's put that at the back. And then we're gonna put her right in there. We're gonna use that same technique that we just did with the bow. So I'm gonna take and make a hole, and we'll make a little heavier wire. This is 18 gauge wire. We'll have that kind of come down. You might already have that in your craft room. I'm just feeding it through, and always make sure you get a good section of fabric. See, I left a lot of fabric, so it's gonna be hard to pull out. And then we're gonna make that into a little bit longer U-pin. Not quite that long, but a little bit longer. And I'm gonna put some glue on it from my glue skillet and just put it on there. I should have done that with the bow. I dipped the bow. I didn't mess up, but that is a great way to get glue everywhere. Now pull that bow up. We want this to tuck under the bow, okay? Right there. I want it to be right here along the bottom of the bow. Push it in. Make sure it's going into that foam. I'm going to put one part up and one part out. And I want it to kind of dangle into the ribbons anyway. So it's okay if it moves a little. Just make sure you got it secured really good. Just want to make sure it went in. Okay, that looks great. It's so cute. I love it. All right. So our last and final step is to take and add some greenery. I love to put greenery in there to just kind of mix it up and add some contrast. We've got all that bright green on the back of our design. Isn't it cute? I love this. All right, now we're going to take these and we're going to push them up just a little bit. I do want to leave them long because we've got to get to that foam behind everything. And we're going to use a few of our floral design principles when we get ready to put this stuff in. Okay, and let's trim this all down. I think you are going to love this. Okay, and this will just add a little soft wispiness. So I'm going to get in here, we're going to start over to that right side and put one in right behind the carrot. And you can just go right into your block of foam. The one kind of coming up here. like he's in the garden, and give him a little motion. Like, give that a little bend. Stop using stuff flat. Like, give it some motion. And I'll put this one in over here behind these carrots. And really, the nice thing is your bow is camouflaging all your mechanics, your foam. You don't have to have a lot of florals in here to do this design. And it's really cute. Okay, let's put one more right here. Hear that crunching in the foam, you know you're in the right spot. And I love our bunnies behind it. Their little heads popping out. Come to the middle, right behind the bow here. Yep. Y'all need this on your door. It is so cute. Let's put one on this side. Kind of coming down into these tails, so we can kind of have it peek out between them. So just take, and not everything has to be in the back. This one could be more in the front. Just kind of give it wiggling out. Let's put one over on the right. Bring these out a little bit. We'll work between those little tails. Kind of coming forward. Oh, yes. And then let's do one right down, kind of beside this long carrot at the bottom. And this can kind of cascade. Oh, this is so cute. I love it. I love it. This has been a design I've had in the works for a while, and I think you are going to love it. Hello there, Bloomerinos. I want him to be a swag base, but just to be different, I don't want to just put him on a normal swag base and work from behind him. I want him to be in the background, and then the wreath swag I'm making, swag means it's just up and down design, okay? It's vertical. So we're going to do that by adding some floral foam to this and then mounting this just right here across the bottom, and make our own swag right on him. So I'm going to start by doing that first and show you how to mount on the foam. Basically, we're cutting thin pieces, not too thin because it becomes fragile, but the nice thing is when we back this on to our piece of our stir paint stick, our stir stick, the nice thing is it adds stability and you don't have to worry about it failing. You could just use this like it is, but there is a weak point in the middle. So when you just pop that on there, now you got stability. And I'm also going to be gluing that on there, and then I'm going to have to add 2 points of attachment to where I can attach it to my bunny stably. So I'm going to bring it over here, and that means I'm going to have them about 1 inch from the inside on either side. And we're going to build our whole arrangement right on him. I'm excited for this because it's different than the way we've done these before, but yet pretty simple. So I'm going to start off by gluing that on the paint stick. So I'm just going to use hot glue. You don't really need Gorilla Glue for this one. And we're going to put it right on in the back, okay? So I'm going to add that to my, you can put it on your paint stick, but I think it's easier to add it to the foam. Just run that right down the middle. I'm trying not to move down the cameras. I'm just gluing the paint stick on there, and that's just going to add a nice stable piece. Now my next objective is I'm going to put 2 staples, one here and one here, and I'm going to wire in some 18 gauge wire that looks like this. I'm going to staple gun this in there on either side, and that way I can attach this right to the bottom. So I took that one piece, I split it into 2, and now I'm going to staple this right in the middle. It's going to be on the table in front of you. I'm not going to move the camera down. Okay, I'm stapling. Boom. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay. See staples? Just like that. Stapled wires on either side. So this is ready. We're going to go ahead and apply that to the base, and I'm going to go over the other supplies we're using. Alright, so just take these and attach them to either side right here. And I'm going to start by putting one in. Okay, and then I'll put the next one before I tighten the wires. So there's plenty of room to straighten this out because you could end up with it being crooked. Don't worry about it yet, just get it started. And I love that these guys have this nice rigid angel vine on here. and then it's nice and firm and steady. So I'm going to twist that in, and now I've got, basically I've created a rail down here we can work on right on top of the base. So it's ready to go, all right? But it's not out too far and way out here. It's nice and tight. Now I'm going to cut those off, the wires off at the bottom, and just kind of tuck those little wires under. All right, now let me show you the other supplies we're going to use for this guy, and I'll zoom in too. For our greenery, we're going to use this fishtail fern. This is in the light cream green. It gives that wispy effect to it, okay? That's my go-to greenery for a lot of spring projects. I love that one. For my berries, I'm using 2 sprigs of this berry. It's light blue with the cream in there. So that pulls in the cream of the other projects as well. Then I'm using this filler. This is a more like a filler flower, but it's a bolder color. It's the same blue as the bunny. So you can see how those together are going to be beautiful. This is a swag, so we're going to be going up and down. We will have a little bit of a transition point we'll talk about. We're going to use this ball spray for something of interest. This gives it movement. The balls give it movement. And then the amaranthus we're using is for the drama coming down. It's a little bit darker blue. And then finally, we're going to use this sweet little butterfly. She will go in like the bow. She will be in the bow zone. So if you prefer to have a bow in your piece, you could use the bow. You could use ribbon and replace the butterfly with the bow, or you could have both. Either would work. So we'll have that whole supply list up for you, but let's get started. So in general, we want to start with our greenery to start kind of framing out our base. But in this case, the blueberry is a little bit more dominant. So I'm going to start with it. It's a blue, it's not really a berry, it's kind of a heather grass. We're going to use it first, and I'm going to create my shape. So the first thing I want to do is decide where I would like my flow to be. And it could be left to right or right to left. Most swags are straight up and down, but we're going to have a little movement. Pick either left to right or right to left. We'll have a little bit. So I'm generally going to go this way. So I'm going to go from left to right and move down. So we're going to go ahead and do that first. And I'm going to start by cutting the middle section out and using it for my height. So I'm going to have it kind of coming in off to the side here. And we'll put this dude in as high as I can on that stem right here in the middle. Every time I push in, I'm going to support my foam until I finally get exactly, you know, I'm not going to be like testing the strength of it, okay? Hold it to support it. Hello, Lynn. Good to see you. Awesome, 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 awesome. All right, now let's go on either side of that with the blue as well. And we'll just tuck that in there. We're going to try to give it a wispy kind of full feeling and start to kind of develop our flow. So here we go. I'm going to have 2 here. And that one's tall and that one's a little bit lower. Now let's come on this side. And let's bring this down here. So those 3 pieces are in. Now we're going to work opposite down here and work going the left to right. So left to right now with the other one. And get these in first. So this is creating kind of our flow. All right, I'm leaving this one long, mirroring that on the other side. So I'm already starting to create my transition point. If you're not familiar with what a transition point is, that's where the design changes direction. So for us, that is here, everything's going up, everything from here will be moving down. So we're going to create our own transition. Now, we're working in this piece of foam that goes, you know, out and over. And it may be hard to eventually cover it all up with florals. So I'm going to do like I would on a wreath. If I see a lot of glue, we're going to put a little Spanish moss on there and kind of create a little bit of coverage onto the foam. I'll put this one next. Let's put one more over there. So I created a little bit of triangle placement around the transition up and down. All right. I did it on the bottom, I'm doing it on the top. And we can move these in and out. That's the whole point of putting the rail on the front, is we're going to create an arrangement on top of our bunny. Okay? You guys have questions? How y'all doing? Thank you, Pam. Isn't it fun? We're going to build this right on top of our bunny. All right, now this is our cream green fishtail fern, and we're going to use that to kind of tuck around each piece. So I want 4 pieces of this to start with. You can push it a little, but we need it kind of long and lanky. So I'm going to leave it long and lanky and put some of that in next. So we're going to create our first flow. So I have 2 up here. We're just going to bring 2 right between each piece of greenery. So you want the blue to be the tallest and these to be a little shorter underneath, okay? So you may have to come and trim it a little. Just keep working with each piece and bring it down a little. It might have a little too long of a stem. There we go. So you can see how that flows nice. We're going to repeat it at the bottom. So let me see how long these are. A little bit shorter. And then a little bit shorter on that side. I'm excited about this because it's going to just pop off the front of this bunny and be a whole work of art on here. And be super stable. I'm really proud of the things I was able to custom design the bunnies and with the gold accents. They're just so pretty and so fun and really nice and chunky. I like that. Okay, everybody get that so far. We're transitioning up and down. We've got a good base started. So our next move is we're going to start to put in some berries. All right, the berries, we're going to use them to kind of fill in left and right, coming out each side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of Spanish moss over the foam to kind of camouflage it a little. You could do that first if you wanted to, but then you have to work around it. So I like to kind of just tuck it in here in a few places, and then we're going to U-pin it in. Okay. So I'm going to put a little bit underneath each side so we can camo it. The U-pins are the metal pins like this. You get them at the craft store. You know, if we're going to have pink, we got to have blue. We do. We got to have blue. You'll know I would have every color of the rainbow if I didn't run out of money first. All right, so I'm going to add the Spanish moss just lightly in here so it will camouflage the foam. And each time I put a little cluster, I've got to pin it in. And because I'm pinning into the width of it, the pins being long is not mattering because I'm coming from the top and bottom. It's working just fine. So let's add a little bit more in here. Oh, perfect. And that green is the perfect green. It matches all of this just nicely. So I'm going to do that on both sides because I'm just getting ready to lay berries right over that area. And they're kind of, you can kind of see through their base. So I want to make sure we've got that underneath. Let me put one more there. So you get the gist of how to put this on. Now let's go ahead and add the blueberries on top. I need to break this down. It's a little too long if I just used it all full. It's not too bad, but it's a little too long. So I'm going to take and cut this into 2 sections. One that has 3 berries and the other will have the big chunk of them. So I'm going to start with the 3. These are hooked to our basket. Okay, I got it. So we're going to take and put these in. I'm going to bend this wire a little because I need them to push in. Push into that foam right here from the front. Make a little hole in your moss. And then we're just going to push that one in, or try to. That's why I don't like to put the moss on first, because then you're fighting it. Okay, now let's take and make some of the berries smaller. I'll tell you what, let me try that again, because that's a little too long, I think. Might be easier just to take the berries off. And they got a nice little sharp wire. We'll just use them that way. So I'm going to start to use these pieces in here like this. There we go, that's better. That's why I don't like putting the moss on too early. You're fighting it. But in this case, I kind of needed to get these berries in here. here's the two longer pieces. I'm going to put them kind of out of the edge right here. I'm going to create my own little look. There you go. So I've got 5 pieces so far, and now we're going to take these and work more towards the front. I love the berries. These are the ones we had in pink also, and we used them at the Valentine's Day wreath, and even when you tear them down, they have a nice little kind of barbed edge here, so it helps them stay where you want to put them. So now we're going to work them back in 3s. So one will be a little longer and the other 2 will be shorter. We'll keep using that placement, working back towards the middle. It's cute. Okay, and then 3 more. We're trying to get to the center. Close to the center. We're going to have a transition zone in there where we're going to put that cute little butterfly, but we want to kind of work our way back. All right. Then we're going to just repeat this process on the other side. So filling in here with the drama happening with the blue, but now filling in with the berries. And because that's white, I think it's a nice transition of color. Come on in, buddy. All right, halfway done. So far, so good. We're going to do the same thing on the other side with the other blue stem, but I still want to prep this side to kind of hide it. You see how all of a sudden you can't see the foam because the moss is hiding it? That's what we're going to do on that side. So we're going to do the same thing, create our little moss zone. I'm not going to put too much, hopefully, but we need to have it on there to layer it up. Let's put a little more on that other side. Get a nice little piece. I'm using the chartreuse Spanish moss. Kind of nice soft green for the spring. I want it kind of thin on top though, y'all. So we have dyed Spanish moss. It's a real product, but it's actually been dyed. The Spanish moss in nature is gray-green. So if you have it where you live, you'll know it looks a little different. But we have it dyed in a few different colors. Okay. All right, now we're going to create this berry cluster over there and repeat that process. So let's get it going on. I'm going to take the tip piece. These will all just pull off. We'll use individually. And then I'll trim those down. It pulls apart nicely. And now I will take this, cut the tip off, and then push it in the end there. I'm going to come look at it from the front so I've got good spacing as I put this one in, and then we'll build backwards, working from the outside in. Okay, so this one's going to go over here in the end. And then backwards in. That looks really good there, guys. I like that. So what I'm going to do is just trim all these other little wires down to just a couple of inches right now. I could do that in one cut and then work them into the middle. So here we go. That's the longest piece. These will be shorter. We'll go left, right, and then we'll bring a couple to the center. Okay, so right here, keep working in. And keep working towards the middle. Good job. Now this area I'm leaving open because we're going to use that fun ball spray in there. So I'm not worrying about nothing being there right now. We'll be filling that in just a little bit. Trying to keep this fairly even. Bring these towards the middle, and that's working great to have everything going into our base, no problem. I kept that piece of foam there pretty thin, so this wouldn't be exploding too much off the base, but just kind of for, gosh, that looks great already. I love it so far, very good. Okay, let's go ahead and get our amaranthus in. It's going to be hanging and dramatic at the bottom. So I'm going to pop that in next. And this comes like this in little wired sections. And you can use it just like that to stagger it. Just cut these in their own little sections. And then we'll be putting those into the middle to kind of hang down. These add that great drama to your piece. And they're going to work hanging down from the transition. So not only do we have a left and right line working, but we have an up and down line. We have both. Okay? So take the one that's going to be a little bit longer, and we're going to have it come out from the bottom right down here. Okay, right in here. I'm just going to pop that into the foam, move some of that Spanish moss out of your way. See that drama coming down? Yo, yes ma'am. So once you've created that line, it's opposite there. We're just going to stack it up and work it up till it's kind of, these are flopping over. So I'm going to use the next chunkiest one, and it'll go next. So bend the wire, and then create a little spot to go into the foam. You're going to go right above. You're going to stack these up. It's kind of what we call piggyback placement, meaning you just put one, you go up a little higher, you put the next one. And then the third one will go right on top. So you can see how that's very dramatic going in there. Come on, baby. It's right there. I love that. That's so sweet. Make sure it's in there good. I'm going to use a floral pin to hold that too. If you need a floral pin for extra security on something, just grab it and grab it in the Y of the floral and just push it in. Okay. Bring these forward a little. Let this sit up. Looking good. All right, now the balls. The balls are going to be the drama on this side. So we're going to tear down this bush, and they're going to come over to the side. So this is a different design because the bunny is in the background, and the bunny is not, it's the base for the swag we're making. Instead of it being kind of one together, it is the base. So we want to keep our weight when we're making this centered so she doesn't hang left or right. We want it really centered. Now, it's up to you how dramatic you want to be, but your line here is very dramatic. I kind of like this maybe being just a little bit higher, because why not? So once you decide the height, you're going to start with your tallest piece and then work down from there. So this is my tallest piece. I'm going to put that in, and I'm going to cluster the other two balls beside it to get this coming up and down. So I'm not going just out left and right. We are really making sure we're coming up and down. So she's in a little blue paradise of blue flowers. So now these need to be shorter. I'm going to cut these all shorter, and we'll continue to work beside her, that main ball, as we come down. Okay, there's one there. Now let's have one out to the right. Let's bring this one forward, and then I'm going to have one more out to the right in just a second. Okay, perfect. So tall, cut them shorter, to bring some, you're kind of bridging the gap between there and there. Okay, one more. And then we're going to put our butterfly in. This is so stinking cute. So this one's going to come off to the side a little. And once again, we're going to bridge the gap between here and the berry. So I have a nice kind of evenness, but not really. It's a little more high there, but it's kind of close. Let me put my last ball in. But now you guys can create your own rail on your bunny, and it's going to come together fairly quickly. Oh my gosh, she's so pretty, y'all. So today we're using a butterfly at the transition. So we have the transition working both up and down and left and right. And we're going to use her right there. This pretty little butterfly is going to go in there and be at that point. Now, I'm picking this butterfly because it has the pattern from the back. So that polka dot is now coming to the foreground. Whenever you do a move like that with ribbon or texture or color, it creates this cohesiveness. And that's what we're going to get when we put this in. But I want to think about how long I need this before I cut it too short, okay? I'm going to cut it to about 4 inches. We're going to take a look at it. I don't want her out here flying. I want her tight, because she's at the transition. You could do it differently. If you wanted to put in 2 butterflies, I would put one flying high and one low. But because she's our only one at transition, I'm going to keep her kind of low and tight. So I'm going to cut her just a little bit more. Yeah, the butterfly adds exactly what we need. We need that polka dot to come through with the gold to tie this beautiful piece together. So I'm going to get into the foam here. There she goes in. And now I'm going to fluff her out. And I want to make her feel like she's, you know, just like you would a bow. We want to break the plane a little bit. She's landed into the florals. You know, that's so cute. I love when this stuff comes together better than I even expected. I love it. Beautiful. Now the last step I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fishtail and we're going to work that a little bit kind of coming down into the sections of the light blue in the foreground to kind of tie it together. So push these shorter and just go a couple of inches. Okay, so I'm going to soften the lines just a little bit coming into the white and blueberry. Just a little. We're going to have one more down on that side. If you do it on the right, you're going to come do it on the left. So we took the base and we really came off of it. And the idea that I wanted is I wanted you to feel like you were making a swag on top. So my last little piece, I'm going to break up the amaranthus a little bit and go kind of in between there, just a hair. All right, there you go. I felt that go through too much, and you know what happened? I didn't hit the foam. There we go. Okay, we'll have that come out. Y'all, look how cute she came out. She is adorbs. Adorbs, y'all. I think she turned out really super cute. I love it. We're gonna make a super cute bunny kit. Are you ready? Let's get started. Here's what's gonna come in the kit. You're gonna have the bunny frame here, and this is a super great base we're gonna work on. You'll get a couple of the egg picks that we're gonna use for our main focal points around our bow. You'll also get a sweet little bunny like this. He'll come in there too because he's going to be piggybacking on here. And of course our killer fishtail fern greenery. Some of the things that you will need to grab out of your own stash are going to be, you will need your own wire cutters and scissors. Oh, you're going to get a roll of ribbon. I forgot to show you that. You'll get a whole roll of ribbon, so you'll have extra after you make the bunny. Then you're going to need a little block of floral foam. So you got to grab this at your local craft store, and they even have floral foam at the dollar store. Then you'll need a couple of cable ties to make the bows. And of course, I like to use the little metal U-pins to pin things in. Those also come from the craft store. And then you're going to need your own electric glue skillet to do glue or a glue gun, okay? I only use electric skillets. So you're going to see me using that in this video. All right. So to begin out this process, we're going to prep our base. You guys, and if you want to grab this kit, you're going to want to send us a text. Our text number is 832-734-5201. You want to send us the word kit, and it'll send you our newest kits, okay? So it just depends when you're seeing this video. This will be either the first one, or it might be a few down if we have some new kits that have come out. This base comes with chicken wire in the back, which is super duper cute and so easy to work with. What we're going to do is, this is my electric skillet with the hot glue in it, and I'm dipping that in, getting just a little glue on the tips, and then I'm grabbing the frame and securing my little block of glue. And so that way I start to make this solid base to create in. So go through the grapevine, push it into the foam so you get that nice and solid. And I've done that 2 times on the bottom. I'm going to do it, try to get it once from the side here. Push that in. Let's flip it over and we can do it from the back also, because it's got that wire frame. We can just go right through. So that way, 3 to 5 pins usually is good enough. I just like to make them extra stable because I'm going to sew my pieces. And my design school students know I'm really big on making things that last really a long time. So our thing that's going to take up the biggest space in this design is the bow. So let's put our supplies to the side and we're going to make the bow really quickly. We'll put Bunny over here. Now, It's up to you how long you want the tails to be, but our whole design is at the bottom of this range of the base. So we're treating this bunny like it's a wreath frame, okay? So I want the tails to be fairly long. So once I decide my length, I did about 14 to 16 inches here. Then I just twist that in my hand. Then I'm going to create my first loop, generally about 5 to 6 inches. Scrunch it a little and twist it, okay? So I created my first loop, and now I'm coming on the other side. You guys might hear some banging. There's some construction here, so don't worry. Nothing's wrong. One on each side. You see the bow coming together? Now I'm going to bring one up here, scrunch it, and twist it. Now I have 2 loops. Now I'm on to my third. And I made these just a little bit shorter than the other one. So I got a really cute 2-loop bow, 2 on each side. All right, if you want more, you could add more, but that's plenty for me. So I'm gonna let those tails come down and just cut them straight to start with. We're gonna come back and add some little detail of a dovetail. Now, you've gotta come in and just tie that with a cable tie in the center. Hold that in the middle while you get it somewhat tight, a little pressure. Now, I'm gonna add a floral pin to the back. So that's the metal U pin. We're gonna put one of those in the back here, because we've got to press it into that foam. So put that in the back. Now get it real tight. All right, and cut that off. So your bow is ready to go. So you'll have a lot of ribbon still left on the roll to add to, you know, some candlesticks, some lanterns, maybe your mailbox, whatever it is. You can embellish more for the Easter season when you grab this kit. You guys, and you just text us to get the link for the kit, no matter where you're watching this video. Okay, we're ready to make the party start happening down here at the base. So what I'm going to do is just turn it slightly this way so you guys can see it kind of come together. And we're going to take, actually I might just do it like this, so you can just see what's going on here at the bottom. We're going to take our greenery and put a few pieces on, and then we'll work with our bow. So I love this greenery bush, and the reason I put it in this kit is so you could have it longer or shorter depending on your preference. I'm going to make these first few pieces. I scrunched them down to, I have about a 2-inch stem on there, and they're about a third of the size they were on the branch. Now we're going to just take and start to dip these in the glue, and then have them start to shape up our base. So we're going to do this just like I would teach in design school, to start shaping out and forming our base. So we're going to get a nice spread of the greenery. So 2 shorter pieces on the right and left, the longer piece in the middle, kind of shaping out your frame. Now I'm going to bring that up a little. Let's go down now. And I'm going to have these be a little bit shorter because I don't need to be too dramatic, but I want a little pop coming down. So cut them a little shorter and trim them up. So when you hear me all excited about this fern and working with it, that's why. This is so easy to work with. Push these in, either side coming down. Isn't that super duper cute? So far, so good. Now, we want to go ahead and put in our bunny. Let me show you how she's looking together. She's so cute so far. Our bunny's going to go in the middle. She's got, you can have her go straight up or out to the left or right. I'm just going to have her go straight up and keep it pretty symmetrical. So I don't want her to cover up the head of my other bunny. I want her to be kind of just a little bit like, oh, hey, I'm a baby riding on here. So depending the size, I'm going to cut this, depending how high you want yours. And trim down that stem. Now, before you dip this in the glue pot, grab that stuff out of your way. But I put glue right on the tip. And now I'm just going to gently push her in. Hold the stem. Good. She's so precious. I love her little blue bow. So cute. So she's kind of going in the center, pretty much just straight on centered. And then what I'm going to do next is we're going to grab our egg picks and put them in a little closer to the middle. So just pull her little bow back so you don't accidentally get any gluing on that. And these we want to overlap the foam slightly. Make sure you manipulate the eggs. You got this really super cute yellow and blue, and bring that greenery forward and these berries forward. Once again, this is one of the most important things you can do when you're designing, is manipulate the pieces that you are getting in the kit if you buy supplies from Cleese.com, you know we're going to have high quality pieces that you want to utilize all these wires. Just take a second to shake them up and shape them. We call that shaking hands. I'm just crisscrossing these in the middle to see if I like it like that, and I do. I think that looks great. My bow will be going in the center, so I have to decide, do I want to cover up my big eggs or not? So if I want my eggs to stand out a little bit more, go just a little bit wider when I put those in. So space it out, and then take and cut the stems off. We're going to cut that little piece out. Okay, now let's take, and we're going to pin these from the front. This is why you need floral pins. Just makes you look like a rock star, guys. Dip them in the glue, go right in. You're going to use 2 floral pins. You got to have a second one down here. Remember I tell you I used to, well, you may not know, but I did craft shows for a living for 17 years. So it's important that I make sure that I grab these where someone can't pull that and pull that pick right out. Because this is just a pin from the front. You see I come in here from the side too? So now they can't yank it out if they wanted to. Oh my gosh, shape those so pretty. Okay, last step before our final step. Look how cute. It's coming together so cute. Put the bow in. Now, the only thing we haven't done is decorated in front of the bow. But we're going to steal something from our pick in the back and decorate the front of the bow in a second. So put your glue on here and run that right in the center. Okay, oh, perfect, perfect. And what I'm going to do is I am going to steal one of these cute little eggs, and we're going to glue that right in the center to hide the center of the bow. Boom, in. And if you wanted, you could put an egg at the bottom and at the top. Let's do that. That'd be cute too. So this one will go right at the bottom, and that one will go at the top. And those are right in the middle of our bow. Oh, I love that. That looks really super clean and neat in the middle. All right, last step. Now, these, we need to make some smaller pieces out of them. So what I'm going to do is separate them out a little to where each piece has 2 leaves on it, okay? And the way you're going to do that is you take this and divide it into little sections. So just start sectioning it down like this. See, little pops? And what we need to do is we need to add a little bit of touches of greenery in towards the bow to really soften those lines. So you guys are getting tips just like I would teach in design school to make your work stand out from others. You guys, if you're not in our design school class, we would love to have you. Just text us or just go to wreathsteacher.com, or you can text us VIP to find out what the latest thing we have going and if design school is open. It's not open year round. You have to join it at one of the opening dates. It opens up a few times a year. So you can see here, I'm pushing these smaller pieces. They are going to go tight to the bow. And what happens is now your eye follows these tight pieces to the inside. It follows them on that line to the outside. And you create this beautiful, beautiful look as you're going all around your sweet little bunny. Oh my gosh, this is so stinking cute, y'all. And then the final touch you might want to do is if you have any foam that is showing, we usually use our Spanish moss to hide that. So it looks really nice and professionally finished. But look how stinking cute she is. Is she cute or what? I love her. She turned out adorable. So that could just hang right on your door. And with the tails, we didn't dovetail them, but you can dovetail them. But another thing I like to do is just curl them up. If you want to dovetail, you take and fold it, cut it at an angle, and then it gives you that little V-shaped look in there. You can do a combination of all that, but you are going to have so much fun making your own door hanger. Blue Merinos, don't miss this one. Grab the kit over on Cleese.com. Let us know wherever you're watching if you enjoyed this video. Give us a bunny in the comments so I can know you enjoyed it and you watched all the way to the end.